They should look to up the run rate a bit. He is unlucky there and once again hit straight to the fielder. The captain has been good with his field placement. Big appeal and up goes the finger. Oh, that's close. It's a huge appeal. That is a very good shout and they're going to review it.
केही नै समयमा नेपाल र युएई को म्याच खेल्नु
Fair delivery.
अब हेरौँ आशा गरौँ
Reaching outside. Impact outside.
आशा गरौँ नेपालले धेरै रनले जित्छ धेरै रन अथवा विकेटले आई थिंक नेपालले चाहिँ टस जित्यो भने बलिङ गर्नु नै उत्तम ठानिन्छ किनकि
I'm afraid you need to overturn your decision. You'll be on screen now.
He should look to get his eye in before trying something extravagant. That's hit straight to the fielder. The bowler will have to be extra careful of the line he bowls to his field.
केही समय पछाडी हाम्रो लाइभ म्याच सुरु हुँदैछ साथीहरु त्यसको लागि लाइभ म्याचको लागि मलाई सब्स्क्राइब गर्न नबिर्सनु होला
Here is a fielder at deep extra cover. That is a very quick signal.
आजको म्याच हामीले जसरी जित्नु नै छ आजको म्याच जिते पछाडी हामी आजको र एउटा दुईटा म्याच जितेपछि त हामी लगभग
bowler is bowling from his favorite end.
जाने पक्का नै भइसकेको छ आजको म्याच जितेपछि पक्का नै हुन्छ हाम्रो हुन चाहिँ अब हेरौँ के कस्तो हुन्छ सायद आज हामीले जित्छौँ म्याच एकदम मन खुलबुल भइरहेको छ मन तुरबुल भइरहेको छ यो बेला अब सम्पूर्ण नेपाली फ्यानहरुको मनमा उ लागिरहेको छ मनमा जित्नु पर्छ भन्ने भइरहेको छ के गर्नु साथीहरु अब ढिलो चाँडो अब हामी जितिन्छ आज हाम्रो म्याच स्योर जितिन्छ मलाई त्यस्तो लागिरहेको छ ब्याटिङमा चाहिँ अलिकति राम्रो गर्नु पर्नेछ हामीहरुले किनकि ब्याटिङ पहिलाको जापानसँगको म्याचमा त्यति राम्रो भएको थिएन हाम्रो जापानसँगको म्याचमा चाहिँ अलिकति फर्स्टमा चाहिँ हाम्रो पावर प्लेमा चाहिँ राम्रै भएको थियो त्यसपछि चाहिँ हाम्रो विकेट मिडल अर्डर ब्याट्सम्यानहरु चाहिँ हाम्रो एकदम धराशायी हुँदै गएको स्थिति थियो अब आशा गरौँ त्यो दोहोरिँदैन हैन त्यो दोहोरिँदैन त्यसपछि चाहिँ राम्रो हुन्छ भनौं पहिला जापानसँग म्याचमा चाहिँ हाम्रो एकदमै राम्रो भएको थियो फर्स्टमा चाहिँ फर्स्ट विकेट त गइहाल्यो हैन त्यसपछि चाहिँ एकदम राम्रो भएको थियो जसरी चाहिँ उ गरेको थियो आज चाहिँ मलाई चाहिँ आदिललाई चाहिँ देख्नु मन थियो अब आदिलको आज के छ कसो छ थाहा भएन हैन अब मेरो मनमा लागेको चाहिँ आदिललाई चाहिँ देख्नु मन थियो एउटा अब को निकाल्ने त फेरि अब मल्ल त राम्रो प्रदर्शन त अहिले राम्रो गरेको छैन उले तर गर्न सक्ने मान्छे चाहिँ हो हैन अब कसरी कहाँ मिलाउने कहाँ सेटल गर्न सकिन्छ त्यो गरेर चाहिँ नि निकालियो भने चाहिँ हुन्छ आज हाम्रो जित त पक्कै हो डाउट त छैन मलाई हाम्रो चाहिँ जितेको छ हाम्रो मोमेन्टम पनि हामीसँगै छ हैन मोमेन्टम हामीसँग भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि मलाई त्यस्तो लागिरहेको छैन कि हामी आज हारिन्छ जस्तो त मलाई लागिरहेको छैन तर हाम्रो प्लेयरहरुको लागि पनि त्यो लागेको छैन मलाई थाहा छ हैन अब खेल त खेल हो होइन, हार जित त हुन्छ नै। किनकि अब 20 ओभरको म्याच हो, 20 ओभरको म्याचमा कसले जित्छ कसले हार्छ भन्ने कुरो त एकछिन भन्न सकिन्न कि 50 ओभरको भएको भएदेखि थाहा हुन्थ्यो। 50 ओभरकोमा चाहिँ अब मान्छेको चाहिँ 5 देखि 10 ओभरले मात्र गरेर हुँदैन, अब 20 ओभरले मात्र गरेर हुँदैन। त्यो सबै टोटल चाहिँ देखिन्छ 50 ओभरको म्याचमा चाहिँ। अब यो चाहिँ 20 ओभरको छोटो म्याच भएको हुनाले कति बेला चाहिँ म्याच कायापलट हुन्छ भन्ने कुरा थाहा हुँदैन साथीहरू। त्यस कारणले मैले सोचिरहेको छु कि हाम्रो पक्षमा चाहिँ कायापलट होस्, हामीले चाहिँ जितौँ कायापलट भएर भन्ने चाहिँ मेरो धारणा छ। हामी सबैको त्यस्तै धारणा छ होइन। अब हेरौँ आज हामीले जसरी पनि जितिन्छ, जित्नै पर्छ, जित्ने नै हो, त्यो दुईवटा कुरा छैन। हाम्रो खेलाडीहरू नि, हाम्रो हिरोहरू पनि खत्रै छन् नि, राम्रै प्लेयरहरू छन् नि, राम्रै फर्ममा पनि राम्रै छन् नि। अब 1-2 जना बाहेक अरू त राम्रै फर्ममा छन् नि। अब आज चाहिँ फर्स्टमा चाहिँ मैले देख्न गएको चाहिँ हाम्रो चाहिँ ओपनिङ पेयरले चाहिँ एकदम 100 रन बनाइदिएको छ नि। मेरो चाहिँ एकदम ठुलो छ। पावर प्लेमा चाहिँ 60 रन हान्न पाए यस्तो रमाइलो हुन्थ्यो साथीहरू। अब हेरौँ के कति गर्नुहुन्छ उहाँहरूले। पावर प्लेमा 60 हान्नु भयो भने त त्यस पछाडि चाहिँ अस्तिको जस्तै विकेट त जानु भएन। त्यसरी गयो भने त फेरि हामी फेरि त्यस्तै हुन्छ होइन। आज मलाई आशा छ, अस्ति गुलसन झाले एकदम बचाएको हामीलाई म्याच। गुलसन झाले अस्ति एकदमै बचाएको हो, उसले चाहिँ राम्रो गरेको थियो होइन। अब त्यसरी नै आज पनि गुलसन झा जस्तै 2-3 जना चाहिँ बनेर आइदिने हो भने चाहिँ आजको हाम्रो म्याच चाहिँ त्यस्तो गाह्रो नहोला भन्छु म चाहिँ होइन। अस्ति गुलसन झाले चाहिँ छक्का हाने, त्यस पछाडि चाहिँ बलमै ओभरमा 1 छक्का हान्ने बित्तिकै बलरको चाहिँ मनोबल त्यतिकै गिरिहाल्छ होइन। उसले चाहिँ हान्छ कि भन्ने हुन्छ। ऊ चाहिँ डिफेन्सिभ खेल्न जाँदाखेरि अनि उसले फेरि पिट्ने हो क्या, अनि त्यस्तो हुन्छ हुन चाहिँ। अब मैले चाहिँ सोचिरहेको छु कि आज चाहिँ फर्स्टमै चाहिँ अट्याक गरोस् भन्ने लाग्छ। यो हाम्रो चाहिँ पहिला चाहिँ यो अस्ट्रेलियन प्लेयरहरूले, त्यसपछि इन्डियन प्लेयरहरू यो चाहिँ गर्छ नि, के अरे अभिषेकले, यिनीहरूले चाहिँ फर्स्ट बलमै अट्याक गरे पछाडि यिनीहरूको चाहिँ माइन्ड सेटमै यस्तो हुन्छ कि बलर्सको चाहिँ मलाई त्यस्तै लागिरहेछ कि हाम्रोले पनि फर्स्ट 2 बलमा चौका छक्का हान्दियोस् जस्तो लाग्छ क्या भित्रबाट, खोइ के भयो त्यो भए पछाडि। अनि के अरे बलर चाहिँ अलिकति ब्याकफुटमा जान्छ क्या, ब्याकफुटमा जाने बित्तिकै चाहिँ यसलाई कसरी बचाउ भन्ने हुन्छ। अनि चाहिँ मनोबल गिरे पछाडि चाहिँ हाम्रो केटाहरूले हान्न सक्छन् कि भन्ने चाहिँ लाग्यो हो। हाम्रो केटाहरू हिरो त हिरो छन्, गर्न त गर्छन्, राम्रोसँग खेल्छन्। अब आज चाहिँ आजको दिन हाम्रो लागि छ कि छैन भन्ने कुरा हो। तर पक्कै पनि आजको दिन हाम्रो लागि नै बनायो हो होइन। अब तपाईँहरूलाई के कस्तो लाग्छ तपाईँहरू कमेन्टमा पनि भनिदिनु होला होइन। कस्तो लाग्छ के लाग्छ, मेरो कमेन्ट्री चाहिँ मैले यो चाहिँ फर्स्ट टाइम गरे हो होइन। अब म चाहिँ यसरी नै लाग्दैछु, अब लाग्छु। अब के कस्तो छ भनिदिनु होला, लाइक पनि गरिदिनु होला, सब्सक्राइब गरिदिनु होला प्लिज। म अब यसमा लागेर चाहिँ अब हाम्रो नेपाली क्रिकेटको लागि हामी गर्ने नै हो, हामी नेपाली हाम्रो लागि गर्नु नै पर्ने हो होइन, अब गर्ने हो। अब त्यस कारणले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ नि यस्तै छ। आज जसरी भए पनि हामीले जित्नै पर्ने छ म्याच, नजिती नहुने छ, म्याच जित्ने हो। र त्यसको लागि चाहिँ नि हामीले तयारी चाहिँ हाम्रो चाहिँ राम्रै भएको छ। हाम्रो क्रिकेट मैदानमा चाहिँ अलिकति स्ट्रक्चर चाहिँ हाम्रो अलिकति कम भएकै हो नेपालमा होइन। अब त्यही पनि अब हाम्रो चाहिँ पारस दाईहरूले चाहिँ गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ, ग्राउन्ड पनि बनिरहेको छ होइन। बिस्तारै बिस्तारै अब हाम्रो चाहिँ यङ्स्टरहरूको लागि पनि, यङ्स्टरहरूले पनि अलिकति अट्र्याक्ट भइरहेको छ, पहिलाको भन्दा अलिकति कम्पेरिटिभली चाहिँ अलिकति बढी भइरहेको छ होइन। अब यसरी नै हुँदै जाने हो भने चाहिँ अब 8-10 वर्षमा चाहिँ हामी पनि एकदम खतरा बलर ब्याट्सम्यान निकाल्न चाहिँ पछाडि चाहिँ हट्दैनौँ, मलाई यस्तो लाग्छ होइन। अब ब्याट्सम्यान बलरहरू पनि राम्रै आउँछ त्यस पछाडि चाहिँ भन्ने लाग्छ। ब्याट्सम्यान त जहाँ पनि पाइने, तर बलर चाहिँ अलिकति गाह्रो हुने। अब हाम्रो नेपालमा पनि अब कुना कानामा छौँ हामी सबैजना होइन। त्यस पछाडि चाहिँ हिमाल पहाड तराई जहाँबाट आए पनि बलर्स चाहिँ एकदम दामी आइदिएदेखि हुन्थ्यो भन्ने मलाई लागिरहेको। बलर चाहिँ आएर चाहिँ ट्याक्क चाहिँ अरूभन्दा पनि ब्याट्सम्यान त सबैको चाहना हुन्छ, सबैको चाहिँ आफ्नो इच्छा हुन्छ ब्याट्सम्यान हुने त्यसपछि 100 रन हानिदिउँ भन्ने हुन्छ। तर बलर हुन्छु मैले चाहिँ यति विकेट निकाल्छु भनेर अलिकति कमै मान्छेको हुँदोरहेछ क्या। मैले यसो विचार गरिरहेको छु अलिकति कमै हुँदैछ हाम्रोमा, त्यस्तो नहोस् होइन। बलर भनेको पनि उत्तिकै होस्। नर्मल्ली क्याप्टेन चाहिँ हामीले दिने भनेको चाहिँ नि नर्मल्ली ब्याट्सम्यानलाई चाहिँ क्याप्टेन दिने चलन हुन्छ। तर जो चाहिँ गलत हो। हामीले चाहिँ सोमपाल कामीलाई पनि दिन सक्थ्यौँ नि त हामीले, तर उसले चाहिँ गर्दिन भनेर चाहिँ उसले आफूले भन्न त भनेको रहेछ होइन। तर पनि हामीले कहिले बलर पनि ब्याट्सम्यान जत्तिकै, ब्याट्सम्यान जति होइन ब्याट्सम्यानभन्दा बढी हुन्छ नि। कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ ब्याट्सम्यानले चाहिँ कम हान्यो, ब्याट्सम्यानको रन चाहिँ 120मा चाहिँ ऊ गरिदिन्छ त, जिताइदिन्छ म्याच, जिताइदिन्छ। त्यस कारणले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ ब्याट्सम्यानलाई भन्दा ब्याट्सम्यान पनि हो, तर चाहिँ बलरलाई पनि क्याप्टेन बनायो भने पनि राम्रो हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ, मेरो विचारमा चाहिँ। अहिले अट्र्याक्ट जो पनि मान्छे अट्र्याक्ट हुन्छ, म ब्याटिङ गर्छु भन्छ होइन। सबैजनाहरू यसो हेर्छु, तर कसैले पनि म बलिङ गर्छु भनेर चाहिँ टिमभित्र चाहिँ खासै अलिक कमै छिरेको हुँदोरहेछ। अब यो कुरा चाहिँ हाम्रो सन्दीप लामिछानेले चाहिँ देखाएको छैन। अब बलिङबाटै नै बलिङबाट नै गरेर चिनाएको त छन्, छन् त त्यो हाम्रो चाहिँ अर्को साइडमा त छ न त छ। तर पनि त्यो मात्र भएर नभएर अब चाहिँ यसो हेर्दाखेरि चर्चामा आएको खेलाडीहरू को छन् भन्दाखेरि अनि त्यसपछि धेरै जसो चाहिँ आएको चाहिँ ब्याट्सम्यानहरू भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि मान्छेहरू विद्यार्थी अथवा चाहिँ सानो सानो बच्चाहरू के हुन्छु भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ बलर भन्दा पनि ब्याट्सम्यान भन्ने हुन्छ क्या उसको चाहिँ हुने रहेछ। उसको चाहना चाहिँ ब्याट्सम्यान बनु भन्ने हुँदोरहेछ। 100 रन हानु भन्ने हुँदोरहेछ, सेन्चुरी हानु, त्यसपछि चाहिँ यति रन पुऱ्याउँ भन्ने हुँदोरहेछ। अनि यस्तो बलरलाई चाहिँ यस्तो पिटौँ भन्ने त्यसको माइन्डसेटमा हुँदोरहेछ। तर चाहिँ म यस्तो बलिङ गर्छु भनेर चाहिँ पहिल्यैबाट चाहिँ नआउने रहेछ। यो कारण चाहिँ अलिकति त्यस्तो लाग्यो मलाई होइन। अब जे होस्, हामी नेपालीहरू चाहिँ अगाडि अगाडि चाहिँ बढेर चाहिँ बलर मात्र ब्याट्सम्यान मात्र भएर नि हुँदैन, बलर मात्र भएर नि हुँदैन। एज अ टिम हामी सम्पूर्ण टिम ब्याट्सम्यान मात्र भएर ब्याट्सम्यानले मात्र 200 रन हानेर पनि हुँदैन। बलर पनि त्यस्तै किसिमको चाहिन्छ। बलरले पनि अलिकति मिलाएर खेल्ने, त्यसपछि मिलाएर खेलाउने अथवा चाहिँ ठ्याक्क चाहिएको बेलामा विकेट झिक्ने। सबभन्दा दामी पावर प्लेमा 1-2 विकेट झिकिदियो भने त्यसपछि ब्याट्सम्यानहरू त त्यत्तिकै गइहाल्छ नि। ब्याटिङ गर्ने साइड 1-2 विकेट पावर प्लेको 6 ओभरको भित्रभित्र तपाईँको चाहिँ नि दुई दुई तिन विकेट झिकिदियो भने त यत्तिकै स्कोर रेट त तपाईँको चाहिँ सिधै 20% घट्छ। जति हामीले मैले यसो विचार गर्दाखेरि के सोच गरेको छु भने हाम्रो चाहिँ जति पावर प्लेको भित्र त्यति कम गरिन्छ, त्यति विकेट झारिन्छ नि। ल एउटा झारियो भने 10% अटोमेटिक कम हुन्छ। मिनिमम पनि 10 विकेट के अरे 10 रन अटोमेटिक कम हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ होइन। अब दुईवटा झारियो भने 20% अटोमेटिक कम हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ। कतिपय कुराहरू चाहिँ एक्सपेक्टेसन पनि हुन्छन् होइन। कतिपय कुराहरू चाहिँ लास्टमा आएर चाहिँ ठ्याक्क हानिदिने, झ्याप्पा हानिदिने होइन। अब 15 बलमा चाहिँ 40 रन हानिदिने त कहिले काहीँ हुन्छ, हुन चाहिँ नहुने चाहिँ होइन। तर एज अ होल हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अभियसली रन चाहिँ कमै हुन्छ नि। रन चाहिँ नर्मल भन्दा त कमै हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई होइन। 2-3 विकेट झार्न सक्यो आज हामीले चाहिँ। पहिला इफ आज हामीले जितियो भनेदेखि चाहिँ ऊ जित्यो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ टस जित्यो भने चाहिँ आज पनि मैले बलिङै गर्ने भन्छु होइन। बलिङ गरेर चाहिँ एकदम राम्रो बलिङ हाम्रो चाहिँ अरूभन्दा पनि सबभन्दा दामी हुनुपर्ने चाहिँ हाम्रो चाहिँ फिल्डिङ दामी भयो भने फिल्डिङ दामी भयो भने 20 रन बचाउन सक्छ फिल्डिङले। एकदम सुपर फिल्डिङ भयो भने 20 रन फिल्डिङले बचायो भने 20 रन भनेको 20 रन बचाउनु भनेको नट अ जोक नि। 20 रन भनेको त 3 ओभरको गेम हुन्छ। 3 ओभरको उस्तै परे 2 ओभर त 10 रन 2 ओभर हान्दाखेरि पो हुन्छ त 20 रन त। त्यस कारणले चाहिँ फिल्डिङ एकदम बवाल भयो भने चाहिँ हामीले केही न केही गर्न सकिन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ। लाग्न चाहिँ फिल्डिङमा, बलिङमा त हाम्रो अस्ति राम्रै थियो, फिल्डिङमा पनि अस्ति ठिकै थियो। तर ब्याटिङ अलिकति कमजोरी नै भएको हो अस्ति चाहिँ होइन। अस्ति अलिकति सुरुमा चाहिँ ब्याटिङ ठिकै भयो, त्यसपछि ऊ भएको हो। बलिङमा पनि तर मेन भनेको चाहिँ पावर प्लेमा एउटा विकेट त झिकियो। त्यस पछाडि चाहिँ अस्ति जापानको क्याप्टेनले त हानेकै हो, चौका छक्का सन्दीप लामिछानेले हानेकै हो होइन। अनि त्यस पछाडि उसलाई पनि हानेको हो, हान्न चाहिँ हानेको हो। तर पनि हामी कसरी डिफेन्सिभ डिफेन्सिभ हुँदा पनि अट्याकिङ हान्ने कि भन्ने कुरा गर्छु म। अट्याकिङ गर्दाखेरि हुन्छ कि जस्तो लाग्छ। अब डिफेन्सिभ खेल्यो भनेदेखि तिनीहरूले चाहिँ रन बनाउन सक्छ। मतलब पहिला पहिला डिफेन्सिभ खेल्यो, तिनीहरू सेट भइसके पछाडि त अनि त्यसपछि बल त अब क्रिकेटको बल त अब फुटबल जस्तो देखिन थाल्छ तिनीहरूलाई। त्यसपछि जहाँ मन लाग्यो त्यति सट हान्न थाल्छन्। तिनीहरूलाई सेट गर्न चाहिँ दिनु हुँदैन होइन। तिनीहरूलाई सेट हुन चाहिँ दिनु हुँदैन। सेट हुनुभन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ ट्याकटुक गरेर गरियो भने चाहिँ हुन्छ कि जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई। अब अब केही समय मात्र बाँकी छ, केही समय मात्र बाँकी छ। अब हाम्रो म्याच सुरु हुनमा केही समय मात्र बाँकी छ। केही समयपछि हामीहरूले थाहा पाउँछौँ कि टस कसले जित्यो। अब टस केही छिनमा हुँदैछ। अब टस कसले जित्यो अब भन्ने कुरो पनि महत्त्वपूर्ण हुन्छ। एकदमै इम्पोर्टेन्ट भनेको टस पनि हो, किनकि हामीले पहिला टस जित्यो भने चाहिँ मैले चाहिँ के लाग्छ भने पहिला चाहिँ ब्याटिङ गरौँ के अरे बलिङ गरौँ भन्ने चाहिँ मलाई लाग्छ होइन। पहिला के अरे ऊ गरौँ भन्ने लाग्छ। अब हाम्रो धेरै टाइम त छैन, धेरै टाइम त छैन हाम्रो चाहिँ। अब 25 मिनटमा चाहिँ हाम्रो चाहिँ गेम स्टार्ट हुन्छ होइन। अब 25-26 मिनटमा गेम स्टार्ट हुन्छ। अब हामीले चाहिँ गेम स्टार्ट भए पछाडि चाहिँ के गरिन्छ भन्दाखेरि आज चाहिँ आज चाहिँ कुन प्लेयरले चाहिँ कति कुन प्ले कुन प्लेयरले चाहिँ आफ्नो चाहिँ रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी निभाउने भन्ने कुरा हो। मलाई चाहिँ लाग्छ हाम्रो चाहिँ पहिला चाहिँ ओपनर ब्याट्सम्यानले चाहिँ राम्रोसँग चाहिँ गरिदिए हुन्थ्यो भन्ने लाग्छ मलाई होइन। अब हेरौँ के कस्तो हुन्छ, कतिसम्म गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ उहाँहरूले। अब के छ कसो छ अब उहाँको सिनारियो जहाँसम्म लाग्छ अब हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई। सुरुको एक ओभर त ट्राई गर्नु पऱ्यो, हेर्नु पऱ्यो होइन। सुरुको एक ओभर त ट्राई गर्नु पऱ्यो के छ कसो छ भनेर होइन। त्यस पछाडि चाहिँ एक ओभर पछाडि चाहिँ गर्नुपर्छ। एक ओभर पछाडि चाहिँ बल कत्तिको चाहिँ इनस्विङ भएको छ कि के भएको छ। अब सुरुमै चाहिँ त्यस्तो त नआउला, मलाई त्यस्तो त लागेको छैन। सुरुमा चाहिँ एक ओभर चाहिँ यसो हेरौँ, अथवा चाहिँ अट्याकिङ क्रिकेट खेलेर चाहिँ सुरुमै चाहिँ बलरलाई चाहिँ सुरुकै बलमा चाहिँ छक्का हान्न सक्यो भने चाहिँ अन द टप भयो आफू होइन। मलाई त्यस्तो लागिरहेछ। सुरुकै ओभरमा चाहिँ अन द टप भएर एक लट हान्न सकेदेखि त त्यो जस्तो राम्रो कुरो त केही नै होइन। सुरुकै बलमा छक्का हान्न सक्यो भने अथवा चौका हान्न सक्यो भने बलरको चाहिँ अलिकति मनोबल चाहिँ गिर्छ नै होइन। अब हेरौँ के हुन्छ कस्तो हुन्छ। अब आजको चाहिँ म्याचले देखाउनै बाँकी छ। अब केही समय म्याच सुरु हुन्छ, धेरै समय बाँकी छैन। अब हामीसँग चाहिँ 20-22 मिनट बाँकी छ होइन। 20-22 मिनटमा चाहिँ अब हामीले त्यो सम्पूर्ण देख्न सक्छौँ। आशा छ, आशा छ आज नेपालले एकदम राम्रो म्याच खेल्छ, एकदम राम्रो म्याच खेल्छ र हामीले आज राम्रो म्याच हेर्न पाउँछौँ। मलाई आशा छ, आशा छ त्यस्तो। हेरौँ, हामी सबैजना आशा गरौँ र खेल्न पनि खेल्छ, राम्रै खेल्छ। हाम्रो प्लेयरहरू पनि राम्रोसँग अहिले चाहिँ राम्रोसँग खेलेर प्र्याक्टिस पनि अब प्र्याक्टिस भन्दा पनि म्याचै अहिले पहिलाभन्दा धेरै हामी खेल्न थालेको छौँ। अहिले वेस्ट इन्डिजको म्याच खेलियो, अब यस्तो पहिला कहिल्यै थिएन नि त। अब पारस दाइ आएर चाहिँ यो सबै सेटिङ मिलाउनु भयो। अब क्रिकेट पनि बन्दैछ, के अरे क्रिकेटको रङ्गशाला पनि रङ्गशाला त भन्दा पनि अब स्टेडियम बन्दैछ। पहिल्यै भएको चाहिँ अलिकति मर्मत हुँदैछ, टियर क्रिकेट ग्राउन्ड मर्मत हुँदैछ। त्यस पछाडि अरू अरू ठाउँमा पनि रङ्गशाला बन्दै छन्। अब क्रिकेटको क्रेज पहिलाभन्दा बढ्दै छ। अब सबभन्दा पहिला क्रिकेटको क्रेज बढेको चाहिँ 2014मा थियो, जब हाम्रो चाहिँ पहिलोचोटि पारस खड्काले लिड गरेर चाहिँ हाम्रो गएको थियो। त्यति बेला चाहिँ एकदम बढेको थियो क्रिकेटको क्राउड। त्यस पछाडि चाहिँ बिस्तार 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 बढ्दैछ अहिले। अब अहिलेको बालबच्चाहरूलाई पनि अब क्रिकेटमा चाहिँ अलिकति क्रेज बढ्दैछ होइन। पहिला अब हामी पहिला चाहिँ खासै त्यति क्रिकेट देख्न पाइन्थेन। अब अहिले चाहिँ गली गलीमा पनि क्रिकेट यसो बच्चाहरू पनि यसो बिदा भयो क्रिकेट खेलेको देखिन्छ। अनि बाआमाहरू पनि क्रिकेटको चाहिँ एकाडेमीमा आजकल लिएर जान थाल्नु भएको छ। बुवा मम्मीले पनि ल खेल्न मन छ भने क्रिकेटै खेल भन्ने पनि अब प्रोफेसनल क्रिकेटतिर हाम्रो जमात जाँदैछ। पहिला चाहिँ क्रिकेट खेल्दाखेरि के क्रिकेट खेले यसरी कहाँ चल्छ घर भन्ने त्यस्तो वातावरण थियो भने अहिले त्यहाँबाट त्यो पार गरेर अर्को सिचुएसनमा पुगेको अवस्था छ अहिले चाहिँ। अब हेरौँ अब यो अवस्था चाहिँ दिगो रूपमा चलिरहन्छ रहिरहन्छ र हामीले चाहिँ राम्रो गर्छौँ। अब केही समयमा चाहिँ टस हुन्छ, केही समय टस हुन्छ। त्यस पछाडि चाहिँ हामी जित्छौँ। हामी जित्छौँ होइन। आज भारी मतले जित्छौँ। हामी भारी मतले जित्छौँ। अब आज जित्यो भनेदेखि पोइन्ट टेबलमा पनि हामी अगाडि पुगिन्छ नि त। आज हामी सेकेन्डमा छौँ क्यारे होइन। अब पोइन्ट टेबलमा पनि भारी मतले जितेर चाहिँ ठ्याक्क अगाडि गयो भने त गयो नि त। अब हेरौँ के हुन्छ। जय नेपाल, जय क्रिकेट होइन। अब हाम्रो सबै अहिलेको यस्तो नेपालको एकदम विषम परिस्थितिमा पनि सबै नेपालीलाई जुट बनाउने, एकाग्र गराउने, जेनजीहरूलाई चाहिँ सबैलाई चाहिँ हामीलाई चाहिँ एकाग्र गराउने अहिले ठाउँै क्रिकेट भइरहेको छ। यत्रो पसिना बग्यो, यत्रो रगत बग्यो, यत्रो गाह्रो भयो हामी सबै नेपालीहरूलाई। तर पनि यो छुट्टै यसको बिचमा पनि छुट्टै रमाउने वातावरण अहिले चाहिँ जुन क्रिकेटले दिएको छ हामीलाई, यो त ठुलो कुरो हो नि त। पीडा मनमा छ, देशको पीडा छ, सबैको पीडा छ। तर पनि यो पीडाहरूको बिचमा पनि हामीलाई एउटा खुसियाली चाहिँ अलिकति खुसी मिल्ने भनेको यो बाटो हो। आज जित्यो, म्याच जित्यो भने हामी नेपालीहरू सबै खुसी हुन्छौँ। यसले अलिकति हाम्रो यो ऊ पनि मेन्टल्ली पनि हामीलाई अलिकति स्ट्रङ बनाउँछ अर्को म्याच जित्नको लागि पनि, मलाई त्यस्तो लागिरहेको छ। तर आज हामी जित्छौँ नि, आज हामी जित्छौँ। त्यसमा दुई मत त छँदै छैन, दुई मत हुने कुरा पनि छैन। आज हामी जित्छौँ, जित्ने नै हो, जित्ने हो। हाम्रो प्लेयरहरू पनि राम्रै प्र्याक्टिस पनि राम्रै गर्नुभएको छ उहाँहरूलाई चाहिँ होइन। अब आज चाहिँ प्लेइङ 11मा चाहिँ को हुन्छ भन्ने कुरा हो महत्त्वपूर्ण, मलाई त्यो लाग्यो हो होइन। मलाई चाहिँ आदिललाई पनि हालिदियो हुन्थ्यो भन्ने चाहिँ मलाई छ अब होइन। अब हेरौँ के हुन्छ, एकछिनमा हामीले थाहा पाइन्छ। अब आदिललाई पनि हालेर पनि सबैजनाको भयो भने चाहिँ ओहो बहुतै अच्छा। अब भएन भने पनि अब के गर्नु त। अब हाम्रो राज्यले रोजेको हो, राज्यले रोजेकोलाई हामीले पनि ओके भन्नै पर्छ। पछाडि टिका टिप्पणी गरौँला, पछाडि म्याच पछाडि टिका टिप्पणी गरौँला, योलाई हाल्नुपर्ने यसलाई गरौँ भनेर भनौँला गरौँला। तर अगाडि चाहिँ यसले चाहिँ हान्छ कि हान्दैन भनेर थाहा पाउने कुरो चाहिँ ठुलो कुरो हो। तर जो चाहिँ हामीले त्यो थाहा पाउनु चाहिँ सकिँदैन। अब हेरौँ अब हामीले चाहिँ के गर्न सकिन्छ आज। जसरी भए पनि नेपालीलाई चाहिँ आज जिताउने हो, नेपाललाई जिताउने हो। हामी नेपालीको शिर अझ उच्च राख्ने, यो कुरामा कुनै दुई मत छैन हाम्रोमा, कुनै दुई मत छैन, कुनै दुई मत छैन। यो गराउनै हो र जिताउनै हो। जिताउने कुरामा चाहिँ हाम्रो दुई मत कसैमा पनि छैन। त्यस कारणले अब हामीले म्याच केही समय अब 3 मिनट पछाडि चाहिँ हाम्रो टस हुँदैछ, केही समय पछाडि टस हुँदैछ र टस पनि हामीले जितौँ जस्तो लाग्छ, मलाई त जितौँ जस्तो लाग्छ। टस जित्यो भने पनि एकदम राम्रो कुरो हुन्छ, किनकि अप्सन हुन्छ बलिङ गरिदिउँ भन्ने हुन्छ नि त। केही समयमा हो हामीले टस गर्ने, टस जित्न पाइयोस् भगवान्, जय पशुपतिनाथ, जय पशुपतिनाथ, जय पशुपतिनाथ, सारा पशुपतिनाथ, त्यसपछि पशुपतिनाथ, हाम्रो काठमाडौँमा भएको सबै नाथ, सबै देवी देवता सबै। आजको म्याच जित्न पाएदेखि त्यो रमाइलो त हुन्थेन। आजको म्याच जित्न पाएदेखि लगभग अब 4 पोइन्ट आउँथ्यो, 4 पोइन्ट आउँथ्यो। अझ अर्को म्याच चाहिँ जित्न पाएदेखि त लगभग हाम्रो त सेटल हुन्थ्यो नि त, वर्ल्ड कपमा जाने सेटल हुन्थ्यो नि त। आजको म्याच एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ हाम्रो लागि। त्यो कुरो चाहिँ अब हाम्रो प्लेयरहरूलाई पनि एकदम हामीलाई भन्दा बढी थाहा छ उहाँहरूलाई, होइन? उहाँहरूले पनि राम्रो गर्नुहुन्छ, उहाँहरूले पनि गर्नुहुन्छ भन्ने त लागिरहेछ मलाई। अब हेरौँ जसरी हुन्छ, जे गरेर हुन्छ, आज नजिती भएको छैन, नगरी भएको छैन। हामीले गर्नै हो, गर्नै हो, गर्नै हो, जित्ने नै हो। ढिलो चाँडो यताउता गरेर हामीले जित्नुपर्छ, हामीले ल्याउनै पर्छ, ल्याउनै पर्छ, ल्याउनै पर्छ, ल्याउनै पर्छ। अब चाहिँ यस्तै छ। अबको केही समय पछाडि अब हाम्रो चाहिँ केही समय पछाडि टस हुन्छ, केही समय, धेरै समय बाँकी छैन, धेरै समय बाँकी छैन। आशा गरौँ हामीले जितिन्छ। टस टस पनि मेरो विचारमा अलिकति टसले पनि पार्ट खेलेको हुन्छ। जितियो भनेदेखि चाहिँ अलिकति कन्फिडेन्स पनि अलिकति आउँछ कि जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई, लाग्न चाहिँ, होइन? टस जित्नु पनि कुरो भाग्यको त भाग्यको कुरो हो। अब हेरौँ, अब हाम्रो चाहिँ रोहितजीको कतिको चाहिँ भाग्य छ, रोहितजीको भन्दा पनि हामी नेपालीको कतिको भाग्य छ। अस्ति चाहिँ भएको थियो, जापानसँग चाहिँ भएको थियो, भएर 2 पोइन्ट पाइयो, होइन? एकदम अच्छा, एकदम रमाइलो भयो त्यति बेला चाहिँ। अब आशा गरौँ अब हामीले यो पनि पाइन्छ नि, यो म्याचमा पनि हामीले टस जितिन्छ, र टस जिते पछाडि हामीले पनि पहिला टस जितिसके पछाडि हामीले गरिन्छ होला सायद। म चाहिँ विचार गर्छु टस जिते पछाडि चाहिँ पहिला चाहिँ बलिङ गर्नु सबभन्दा राम्रो, किनकि बलिङ गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ नि हामीले चाहिँ एटलिस्ट यसले यति रन छ भनेर चाहिँ त्यसले टार्गेट दिइसके पछाडि चाहिँ नि हामीले चाहिँ यो रहेछ, यति रहेछ भनेर चाहिँ गर्न सकिन्छ नि त। त्यो कारणले गर्दाखेरि अब हेरौँ, केही समय बाँकी छ, अब 15 भइसक्यो। अब हाम्रो चाहिँ नि टसको कुरा चल्दैछ। अब टस हामीले जितिसक्यो, ल टस हामीले जितिसक्यो र हामीले ब्याटिङ गर्ने भनिसक्यो। टस हामीले जितिसक्यो, हामीले ब्याटिङ गर्ने भनिसक्यो। अब हाम्रो नेपालीको चाहिँ प्लेइङ 11 के छ? आसिफ, त्यस पछाडि चाहिँ कुशल भइहाल्यो, रोहित भइहाल्यो, सन्दीप, कुशल मल्ल चाहिँ फेरि पनि रहेछन्। अब आज सायद यिनले आज चाहिँ केही रन बनाउँछन् होला जस्तो लाग्छ, अस्ति पहिलाको म्याचहरूमा भन्दा आजको म्याचमा बनाउँछन्। भगवान् बनाइदियोस्, पशुपति, जय पशुपतिनाथ, बनाउनु पर्छ आज। दिपेन्द्र सिंह ऐरे, गुलसन झाता अब हाम्रो एकदम मस्ट भेलुएबल प्लेयर भइहाले, सोमपाल कामी सिनियर प्लेयर भइहाले, सन्दीप लामिछाने, नन्दन यादव र ललित राजवंशी। प्लेयरको चाहिँ हाम्रो चाहिँ प्लेइङ 11 चाहिँ फेरि म एकचोटि तपाईँहरूलाई भन्न चाहन्छु, म तपाईँहरूलाई सुनाउन चाहन्छु। आसिफ शेख, कुशल भुर्तेल, रोहित पौडेल, सञ्जीव जोरा, कुशल मल्ल, दिपेन्द्र सिंह ऐरे, गुलसन झा, सोमपाल कामी, सन्दीप लामिछाने, नन्दन यादव र ललित राजवंशी। अब हेरौँ, यो अच्छा चाहिँ अच्छा छ। यो अच्छा चाहिँ अच्छा छ। अब हेरौँ के हुँदो रहेछ। अब आज हामीले ब्याटिङ गर्ने त भनियो। अब ब्याटिङ गर्नेमा चाहिँ सुरुमा चाहिँ ट्याक्क मिलाएर हाम्रो चाहिँ केटाहरूले चाहिँ ब्याटिङमा चाहिँ यार 200को टार्गेट दिए त हुन्थ्यो, भगवान् 200को टार्गेट दिए हुन्थ्यो। अब के गर्नु, आफूलाई 200को 400को दिन जस्तो लाग्छ। अब हुँदै नभएको दिन जस्तो लाग्छ, लाग्न त अब के गर्नु। हान्न पनि गाह्रो हुन्छ उनीहरूलाई झन् उनीहरूलाई गाह्रो छ अब हामीहरूलाई गाह्रो छ हामीलाई त यस्तो यस्तो मन धुच्चुक हुन्छ भने खेल्ने प्लेयरहरूलाई कस्तो होला एकदमै गाह्रो होला नि र जसरी चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ देख्छौँ हेर्छौँ होइन त्यस्तो गर्दा त्यस्तो हुन्छ अन द फिल्ड भएको मान्छेलाई त इट्स रियली हार्ड नि इट्स रियली हार्ड एन्ड इट्स रियली टफ फर देम एज वेल देयर माइन्ड सेट निड टु बी रियली टफ हाम्रो प्लेयरहरू त्यहाँभन्दा पनि धेरै टफ छन् किनकि तिनीहरूले पहिला पनि यस्तो म्याचहरू खेलिसकेका छन् तिनीहरू मेन्टली जति अब एक्सपिरियन्स मेन्टल्ली बलियो हुँदै जान्छ कि एक्सपिरियन्स गर्दै गएपछि मेन्टल्ली पनि त्यही किसिमको पनि भएको हुन्छ सिनियर प्लेयरहरूले उनीहरूलाई अलिकति मेन्टल्ली सपोर्ट पनि गरिरहेको हुनुपर्छ होइन किनकि सिनियर प्लेयरहरूले पहिला पनि खेलिसकेको हुन्छ यस्तो म्याचहरू अलिकति प्रेसर म्याचहरू खेलिसकेको हुन्छ तिनीहरू चाहिँ कसरी खेलिसके पछाडि चाहिँ उनीहरूले चाहिँ जुनियरहरूलाई चाहिँ अलिकति एक्सपिरियन्स सेयर गर्दा पनि थाहा हुन्छ नि एक्सपिरियन्स सेयर गर्दाखेरि थाहा हुन्छ अनि तिनीहरूले गर्छन् गरिसके पछाडि अब हेरौँ एनी हाउ हामी चाहिँ आजको मिठो म्याच हेर्न तयारी हुँदै गर्दैछौँ आज हामीले म्याच जित्नै पर्छ जित्नै पर्छ जित्नै पर्छ जित न जित्नै पर्छ त्योभन्दा अरू विकल्प हामीसँग छैन त्यहाँभन्दा अरू विकल्प त हामीसँग छैन अब हेर्नुपर्छ के छ कसो छ त्यस पछाडि हामीले म्याच जित्छौँ आज म्याच जित्छौँ यसमा चाहिँ कुनै दोहोरा छैन म्याच राम्रोसँग हेर्ने हो अरूभन्दा पनि मलाई लागिरहेको छ कि ब्याट्सम्यान त हाम्रो केटाहरूले ब्याट त चुट त गरे तर केटाहरूले हान्दिए हुन्थ्यो यार त्यो मन ऊ हुन्छ सुरुमा चाहिँ केटाहरूको 6 विकेट 6 ओभरसम्म त एउटा विकेट पनि नगइदिएदेखि कस्तो राम्रो हुन्थ्यो हाम्रो चाहिँ भुर्तेल मामा आजकल त मामा भनेर एकदम चर्चित हुनुहुन्छ उहाँ भुर्तेलजीले चाहिँ आज पनि अलिकति चलाइदिएदेखि हुन्थ्यो बिचमा चाहिँ भएन क्या हाम्रो बिचमा चाहिँ अस्ति केटाहरू चाहिँ सर्लक विकेट गयो नि त त्यस्तो भयो भने चाहिँ फेरि गाह्रो हुन्छ त्यस्तो भयो भने त मन सुल्ल पग्लिहाल्छ त मन पग्लेर मात्र भएन रन पग्लिन्छ रन पग्ल्यो भने त अनि अस्ति यस्तो राम्रो चाहिँ हुँदा हुँदै धन्नै हारेको नि गुलसन झाले चाहिँ राम्रो नखेल्दै भएदेखि हामी सकिया थियौँ नि अस्ति मजाले सकिया थियौँ तर जापानिज प्लेयरहरूले पनि खेल्न त पहिलो पहिलो इनिङ त राम्रो खेल्यो पहिलो इनिङ भन्नाले 5-7 ओभरसम्म त राम्रो खेल्यो तिनीहरूले पनि बहुत राम्रो खेलेको थियो छक्का चौका यस्तो हानेको थियो सन्दीपलाई एकदम प्रेसरमा ल्याइदिएको थिए त्यसपछि जुन बलर आउँछ एकदम प्रेसरमा ल्याइदियो जुन बलर आउँछ प्रेसरमा ल्याइदियो छक्का चौका हानेर ट्यागको रन रन बिट्विनमा त विकेट पनि दामी थियो तिनीहरूको राम्रो गरेको थियो अब आज पनि त्यही गर्छन् होला जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई तिनीहरूले तर पनि तिनीहरूभन्दा हामी आज पनि माथि नै हुनुपर्छ तिनीहरूभन्दा आज पनि हामी माथि हुनैपर्छ र आज हामीले जित्नै पर्छ यस्तो भयो भने चाहिँ नि बिस्तारै 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 गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हाम्रो पनि त्यहाँसम्म नहोला भन्न सकिन्न अब आज हाम्रो चाहिँ अब केही समय छ अब 8-9 मिनट बाँकी छ अब 8-9 मिनट पछाडि हाम्रो पनि म्याच सुरु हुन्छ अब 8-9 मिनट पछाडि ट्याकल आएर म्याच सुरु भइसके पछाडि ट्याक्क जोड्दाखेरि पनि अब ठिक हुन्छ अब जसरी पनि आज नजिती नहुने भन्छु म त आज हारे पनि फरक त केही नपर्ला होइन पछाडि तर पनि फरक नपर्ला भन्दा पनि तर बुढी मरी भन्दा पनि काल पल्क्यो भन्ने कुराले चाहिँ म्याटर गर्छ जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई आज पनि हारियो भने अनि भोलि पनि हार्न सक्ने सम्भावना बेसी हुन्छ नि त अलिकति मान्छेको मनोबल पनि गिर्या हुन्छ होइन त्यस पछाडि अनि अरूले हेर्ने डिस्कस पनि हुन्छ कोही बलिङ गर्दा पनि के अरे हारिन्छ कि भन्ने तरिकाले गऱ्यो भने चाहिँ हारिन्छ नै जस्तो लाग्छ अब केही एक दुईचोटि खेलेर चाहिँ जितेको दुईटा म्याचमा दुइटै जित्यो भने अर्को 3टा म्याचमा नै जितिन्छ भन्ने हुन्छ नि त। दुइटै म्याच हारेछ भने यो पनि हारिन्छ कि भन्ने त्यो मोमेन्टम पनि उतैतिर जाने रहेछ। त्यस्तो नर्मल्ली त्यस्तो फिल हुने हो हुन चाहिँ होइन। अब होप त्यस्तो केही नै हुँदैन। त्यो केही नै हुँदैन। हामीले झ्याम्का झ्याम आज हानिन्छ। त्यही सोचका साथ आज हामी अगाडि बढ्छौँ। अनि जसरी हुन्छ जित्नै पर्छ म्याच। जसरी हुन्छ जित्नै पर्छ, जितिन्छ पनि नै।
That's 6. He picked up the length very early. There is a fielder at cover. Nudges it for a single. The bowler is bowling from his favorite end. He is unlucky there and once again hit straight to the fielder. The captain has been good with his field placement. Strokes it into the gap for a single. That is huge appeal. Bowler thinks he's got the batsman, but the umpire thinks otherwise. Oh, shot, but only a single. In bowling here, spinner into the attack now. There is a fielder at deep extra cover. The bowler is bowling from his favorite end. That was a quick single. Nice running between the wickets. They should look to up the run rate a bit. He is unlucky there and once again hit straight to the fielder. The captain has been good with his field placement. Big appeal and up goes the finger. Oh, that's close. It's a huge appeal. That is a very good shout and they're going to review it.
Checking for a no ball. Fair delivery. No problem. Reaching outside. Impact outside. Wickets hitting. I'm afraid you need to overturn your decision. You'll be on screen now.
He should look to get his eye in before trying something extravagant. That's hit straight to the fielder. The bowler will have to be extra careful of the line he bowls to this field. Here is a fielder at deep extra cover. That is a very quick single taken. The bowler is bowling from his favorite end. Batsman can't find the gap. It's straight to the fielder. The captain has been good with his field placement. Edged and taken. That is huge bill. Bowler thinks he's got the batsman, but the umpire thinks otherwise.
Right, checking for a no ball. Fair delivery, no problem. Can't see anything conclusive on Snickle. Can't see anything on hotspot.
That is huge bill. Bowler thinks he's got the batsman, but the umpire thinks otherwise.
ग्रुप त यहाँ नआइकन अहिले उतै टिभी हेरेर भयो
That's six. He picked up the length very early. There is a fielder at cover.
र म गाडीमा जान्छु
Nudges it for a single.
आइजन बेसी बिटक हुन्छ क्या त अब हल्ला नगर 30
The
31
bowler
भइसक्यो
is
यार कहाँ
bowling from
गयो
his favorite end. He is unlucky there and once again hit straight to the fielder. The captain has been good with his field placement. Strokes it into the gap for a single. That is huge bill. Bowler thinks he's got the batsman, but the umpire thinks otherwise. Oh, shot, but only a single. In bowling here, spinner into the attack now. Here is a fielder at deep extra cover. The bowler is bowling from his favorite end. That was a quick single. Nice running between the wickets. They should look to up the run rate a bit. He is unlucky there and once again hit straight to the fielder. The captain has been good with his field placement. Big appeal and up goes the finger. Oh, that's close. It's a huge appeal. That is a very good shout and they're going to review it.
Right, checking for a no ball. Fair delivery, no problem. Reaching outside. Impact outside. Wickets hitting. I'm afraid you need to overturn your decision. You'll be on screen now.
He should look to get his eye in before trying something extravagant. That's hit straight to the fielder. The bowler will have to be extra careful of the line he bowls to this field. Here is a fielder at deep extra cover. That is a very quick signal taken. The bowler is bowling from his favorite end. Batsman can't find the gap. It's straight to the fielder. The captain has been good with his field placement. Edged and taken.
आइज
That is huge appeal. Bowler thinks he's got the batsman, but the umpire thinks otherwise.
लाइभ हेर्नु पर्छ हेरेर भन्नु मलाई
Right, checking for a no ball. Fair delivery, no problem. Can't see anything conclusive on Snickle. Can't see anything on hotspot.
That is huge appeal. Bowler thinks he's got the batsman, but the umpire thinks otherwise. That's six. He picked up the length very early. There is a fielder at cover. Nudges it for a single. The bowler is bowling from his favorite end. He is unlucky there and once again hit straight to the fielder. The captain has been good with his field placement. Strokes it into the gap for a single. That is huge appeal. Bowler thinks he's got the batsman, but the umpire thinks otherwise. Oh, shocked, but only a single. In bowling here, spinner into the attack now. Here is a fielder at deep extra cover. The bowler is bowling from his favorite end. That was a quick single. Nice running between the wickets. They should look to up the run rate a bit. He is unlucky there and once again hit straight to the fielder. The captain has been good with his field placement. Big appeal and up goes the finger. Oh, that's close. It's a huge appeal. That is a very good shout and they're going to review it.
Right, checking for a no ball. Fair delivery, no problem. Reaching outside. Impact outside. Wickets hitting. I'm afraid you need to overturn your decision. It will be on screen now.
त्यहाँ किन नाटक देखायो अहिले
He should look to get his eye in before trying something extravagant.
केमा
That's hit straight to the fielder. The bowler will have to be extra careful of the line he bowls to this field. Here is a fielder at deep extra cover.
तिरमा घर पनि भयो
That is a very quick single taken. The bowler is bowling from his favorite end. Batsman can't find the gap. It's straight to the fielder. The captain has been good with his field placement. Edged and taken. That is huge appeal. Bowler thinks he's got the batsman, but the umpire thinks otherwise.
Right, checking for a no ball. Fair delivery, no problem. Can't see anything conclusive on Snickle. Can't see anything on hotspot.
That is huge appeal. Bowler thinks he's got the batsman, but the umpire thinks otherwise. That's 6. He picked up the length very early. There is a fielder at cover. Nudges it for a single. The bowler is bowling from his favorite end. He is unlucky there and once again hit straight to the fielder. The captain
अहिले
has been
नेपालको रन
good with
भइरहेको
his
छ
field placement.
17 रन भइरहेको छ अहिलेसम्म कुनै पनि विकेट गइरहेको छैन
Strokes it
त्यो
into the
चाहिँ
gap
एकदम
for a
नेपालको
single.
लागि
That is
एकदम राम्रो
huge
कुरा
bill. Bowler thinks he's got the batsman.
अब हेरौँ
But the
कुशल
umpire thinks
भोटेल चाहिँ
otherwise.
ब्याटिङमा छन् र बलिङ गर्छन् अलीले बलिङ गर्दैछन् र कुशलले चाहिँ यो चौकाउन गइरहेको छ गुड सट बाई कुशल भुर्तल नेपालको लागि बहुत इम्पोर्टेन्ट प्लेयर हुन् र उनले चौका हानेको छन् उनले राम्रो प्ले गरिरहेको छन् आज
Oh, shot, but only a single.
उनी अहिले 10 रन
In bowling here, spinner into
12
the
रनमा
attack now.
17 रनमा 12 रन
Here is a fielder at deep extra cover.
उनले हानेका छन् 12 रनमा 17 बल 17 रनमा 12 बल
The bowler is bowling
रन
from his
हानेका छन्
favorite
12
end.
बलमा र फेरि बलिङ ओके योपालि चाहिँ 1 रन मात्रै
That
हान्न
was a
सफल
quick
भएका छन्
single. Nice running between the
र
wickets.
बलिङ गर्दैछन् अलीले बलिङ गर्दैछन् र यो लास्ट बल हुन गइरहेको छ अलीको लागि अब हेरौँ लास्ट बल आयुष शेखले
They
के
should look
गर्छन्
to
उनी
up the run rate a bit.
4 बल खेलेर 3 रन हानेका छन् होपफुल्ली हेरौँ के गर्छन् उनले अहिलेसम्मको स्कोर चाहिँ हाम्रो 22 रन छ र 2.5 ओभर अहिलेसम्म भएको एक ओभर एक बल बाँकी छ यो ओभर सकिनको लागि हेरौँ लास्ट बलमा चाहिँ आयुष शेखले के गर्छन् अहिले बलिङ गरेका छन्
He is
ओ
unlucky there
उठाइदिएका
and once
छन् र
again
यो
hit
बिग
straight
सट हुन
to the
गएको
fielder.
छ न बिग सट त छैन
The captain
2
has
रन
been good
लिन
with his
सफल
field
भए
placement.
एक रन मात्र लिन सफल भएका छन् हावामा केही समयको लागि हावामा बल थियो मलाई लागिरहेको थियो कि यो चौका अथवा छक्का हो तर नै होइन रहेछ यो चाहिँ 1 रन रहेछ अब आजको लागि एकदमै इम्पोर्टेन्ट गेम खेल्न लागिरहेका छन् आयुष शेख र
Oh, that's close. It's a huge
भोटेल
appeal. That is
पहिला
a
पनि
very
एकदम
good
राम्रो
shot
गेम
and we are
खेलिरहेका
going to
थिए
review it.
आज पनि होप गरौँ यो दुईजनाको पार्टनरसिपले बहुत एकदम राम्रो गरेछ हाम्रो उसको लागि
Checking for a no
र
ball.
त्यही आशा लागिरहेको छ
Fair
अहिलेसम्म
delivery.
23 रन भएको
No
छ
problem.
3 ओभर भएको छ 23 रन एकदम राम्रो अहिलेसम्मको सुरुवात एकदम राम्रो छ
Reaching
एकदम
outside.
राम्रो सुरुवात रहेको छ अहिलेसम्म यसरी नै
Impact outside.
6 ओभरसम्म एक
Wickets
पनि
again.
विकेट निस्किएन र हाम्रो चाहिँ रन रेट पनि राम्रै रहिरह्यो भने हामीले चाहिँ 180 प्लस त डेफिनेटली नै हान्ने नै छौँ जस्तो लागिरहेछ मलाई 180 प्लस हान्नु भनेको नै हाम्रो गेम लागिरहेको छ
Afraid
हामी
you
गेम
need to
हाम्रो
overturn your decision. No
उल्टामा
grounds
हाल्छौँ
for
जस्तो
that.
लागिरहेको छ ल अब
He should look to get his eye in before trying something extravagant.
अहिले अहिले नै आएर
That's hit
अलिले
straight
चाहिँ
to the fielder.
बलिङ गर्न आइरहेका छन् उनी चाहिँ
The bowler will
स्पिनर
have to
हुन्
be
र
extra careful
त्यति
of the
छिटै
line he
स्पिनर
bowls to this
ल्याएकोमा
field.
म पनि अलिकति चकित नै भएँ पहिलो बलमा चाहिँ उनले यस्तो गरेका छन् दोस्रो बलमा पनि उनले चाहिँ रन ल्याउन सकेनन् आयुष शेख छन् आयुष
There is a
शेखले
fielder
चाहिँ
at deep extra cover.
ब्याटिङ गरिरहेका छन् हेरौँ उनले के गर्छन् कस्तो गर्छन् उनले लिएका छन् 7 बलमा 4 रन ल्याएका
That
छन्
is a very
अहिलेसम्म
quick signal taken.
र कुशल भुर्तेले ल्याएका छन् 18 बल 13 बलमा 18 रन उनले फेरि पनि
The bowler is bowling from his
बल
favorite
छेकेका छन्
end.
र एक रन पनि आउन सकेको छैन अहिले लगातार 3 डट बल भइरहेको छ अहिले
Batsman
लगातार
can't find the gap. It's straight to the fielder.
3 डट बल भएको छ। अब हेरौँ अभिषेकले एउटा
The captain has been good with
आई
his
विश छक्का
replacement.
लगाउँछन्।
Edged and
ओ यो
taken.
चौका भएको छ। Once from over the
That is
over the
huge
fence.
pill. Bowler thinks he's got the
एक
batsman,
चौका
but
हानेका
the
छन्
umpire
उनले।
thinks otherwise.
एकदम राम्रो सट हानेका छन्। हल्का रुम बनाएर उनले चाहिँ अन साइडमा हानेका छन्।
Fair delivery.
एकदमै राम्रो सट।
No problem. Can't see anything conclusive on Snickle.
यिनले पनि आफ्नो लय पक्रेका छन्। यिनी पनि दुईजनाको पार्टनरसिप राम्रो भयो भने
Can't see anything on hot spot.
180 प्लस मैले आशा गरिरहेको छु।
That is
180 प्लस त
huge
हान्दियोस्
pill. Bowler thinks
मिनिमम
he's
पनि
got the batsman,
जस्तो
but
लाग्छ।
the umpire thinks
अब हेरौँ
otherwise.
के कस्तो हुन्छ, हेर्दै जाँदाखेरि थाहा हुन्छ त्यो त हैन। अब हामी हेरिरहेका छौँ। अहिलेसम्म रन भएको छ 28 रन भएको छ। 28 रन भएको छ। एकदम राम्रो स्टार्ट भइरहेको छ अहिलेसम्म नेपालको साइडबाट एकदम राम्रो भइरहेको छ। हेरौँ अब पनि राम्रै हुन्छ। केही समय अब विकेट झरेन भने नेपाल एकदमै राम्रो स्थितिमा आउँछ। आज एकदमै राम्रो, अहिलेसम्म एकदमै राम्रो भइरहेको छ। 4 ओभर गइसक्यो। हाम्रो रन छ 28 र एक पनि विकेट जान सकेको छैन। जसमा चाहिँ कुशल भुटेलले चाहिँ 14 बलमा चाहिँ 18 रन हान्न सफल भएका छन्। त्यसै गरेर चाहिँ अभिषेकले चाहिँ 10 बलमा चाहिँ 9 रन हानेका छन्। ठिकै छ अहिलेसम्मको स्थितिमा चाहिँ नेपालले चाहिँ राम्रै गरिरहेको छ। अझ पावर प्लेको लागि 2 ओभर बाँकी छ। 2 ओभर बाँकीमा हेरौँ अब 2 ओभरमा चाहिँ अलिकति केही राम्रो गर्छ। अब बलिङ गर्न आएका छन् मोहम्मद रोहित र उनले पहिलो ओभरमा 8 रन खाएका थिए। अब हेरौँ यो ओभरमा कति रन खानेछन् त्यो त हेर्ने पक्कै नै छ। ओहो एकदम दामी बलिङ गरेका छन् उनले। अभिषेक सिंह अलिकति पिक गर्न सकेनन् बललाई। अलिकति साइडबाट बल गएको छ यति बेला। उनी दोस्रो बल गर्न गइरहेका छन्। हेरौँ कस्तो के हुन्छ। अनि हेरौँ उनले कस्तो बलिङ गर्छन्। अहिले बलिङ गरेका छन् र चौका। ओ माई गड, इट्स रियली ग्लोरियस शट फ्रम द आसिफ शेख। ही इज वान अफ द बेस्ट प्लेयर फ्रम नेपाल। एकदमै राम्रो ब्युटिफुल शट फ्रम आसिफ शेख। एकदमै राम्रो शट हानेका छन्। हेरौँ यिनले यस्तो शट धेरै देखाउने छन् यो गेममा। हामीले आशा गरौँ, भरोसा गरौँ। आशा र भरोसाको पात्र नै यिनै दुईजना छन् आज हाम्रो लागि। हेरौँ राम्रो हुन्छ। ओ फेरि पनि ओ माई गड, एकदमै राम्रो ब्याटिङ गरेका छन् आसिफ शेखले। इट्स 6। यो पहिलो छक्का छ नेपालको लागि। पहिलो छक्का छ, एकदमै पहिलो छक्का छ र एकदमै राम्रो सर्ट। टाइमिङ नै एकदम बवाल गरेका छन् यिनले। यिनको टाइमिङ नर्मल्ली राम्रो नै हुने गरेको छ पहिल्यैबाट। पहिला चौका हाने। यो ओभरमा जम्मा 3 बल भएको छ, जसमा पहिलो बल चाहिँ डट रहेको थियो। दोस्रो र तेस्रोमा चौका र छक्का लगातार हानिरहेका छन्। अब हेरौँ यो ओभरमा चाहिँ अलरेडी 10 रन त आइसक्यो। अब त्यसमाथि कति आउन बाँकी छ। यसमा अब 1 रन आयो जस्तो लागिरहेछ। एक रन आयो। अब पाएका छन् कुशल भुटेलले पाएका छन्। अब उनले आशा गरौँ उनले पनि राम्रै हान्दैछन्। 4 र 6 1 11 रन हानिसकेका छन्। जम्मा 4 बल भएको छ। जम्मा 4 बल भएको छ। अब हेरौँ उनले राम्रै गर्नेछन्। अब यो एकदमै राम्रो ब्याटिङ अहिलेको स्थितिमा आएर एकदमै राम्रो ब्याटिङ गरेका छन् आयुष शेखले। एकदमै राम्रो ब्याटिङ हो उनको लागि र हामी सारा नेपालीहरूको लागि यो ब्याटिङ एकदमै राम्रो ब्याटिङ। एक रन लागेको छन् यहाँ। अब हेरौँ यिनीहरूले राम्रो गर्नेछन्। यति बेला राम्रो ब्याटिङ गरिरहेका छन् नेपालीहरूले। कुशल बोर्तलले 2वटा डट बल खेलेका छन् अहिले। आदर अलीले बलिङ गरिरहेका छन्। कुशल बोर्तल हेरौँ कुशल बोर्तलले एकदम राम्रो छक्का अथवा चौका लगाउँछन्। बिग अपिल गरेका थिए तर अम्पायरले नकारेका छन्। अम्पायरले यो लाग्छ लेग साइडमा अलिकति गयो जस्तो लागिरहेछ हेर्दाखेरि। तर अलिकति क्लोज लागिरहेको थियो। विकेट झरेकी जस्तो लागेको तर अम्पायरले चाहिँ इन्ट्रेस्ट देखाएन। त्यो चाहिँ नेपालको लागि बहुत राम्रो कुरो हो। अलिकति टर्निङ गरिरहेको छ बल चाहिँ अलिकति टर्निङ भइरहेको छ। उसले चाहिँ उसको लागि चाहिँ राम्रोसँग खेल्नुपर्छ। उसँग चाहिँ राम्रोसँग मिलेर खेल्नुपर्ने देखिन्छ। हेरौँ के कस्तो हुन्छ। आज अलिले अलिकति राम्रो खेलिरहेको छ अहिले किनकि तेस्रो 3वटा उसले चाहिँ डट बल गरिसकेको छ र अहिले रहेको छ 1 रन लियो। 1 रन भनेको चाहिँ 4 बल गर्यो तर जम्मा 1 रन भनेको एकदमै राम्रो मानिन्छ। नर्मल्ली चाहिँ हाम्रो लागि राम्रो मानिन्छ। अब हेरौँ के लास्टमा चाहिँ चौका आसिफले चाहिँ चौका हाने। अन्तिम 5औं बलमा चाहिँ आसिफ शेखले चाहिँ चौका हान्न सफल भएको छ। यो एकदमै इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुरा छ किनकि उसले हान्न सकिरहेको थिएन र यसले हान्यो। एकदमै राम्रो कुरा छ। अब हामीले चाहिँ चौका न 1 रन पनि भएन। 6 ओभरमा चाहिँ 45 रन हानेको छ नेपालले। यो भनेको 6 ओभरमा 45 रन। विकेट हामीसँग 10वटै विकेट बाँकी छ। यो भनेको चाहिँ राम्रै हो हाम्रो लागि किनकि मैले सोचिरहेको थिएँ कि 6 ओभरमा चाहिँ 60 रन भनेको त हाम्रो चाहिँ एकदमै राम्रो हो। तर हाम्रो केटाहरूले अहिले विकेट जान दिएको छैनन्, छक्का चौका पनि हानिरहेका छन् र आफ्नो चाहिँ लय पनि पक्रिरहेका छन्। अब यिनीहरू चाहिँ सेट सेट भइसके, अब यिनीहरू दुवैजना सेट भइसके, अब चाहिँ सेट भइसके पछाडि चाहिँ यिनीहरूले चाहिँ अब रन स्कोर बढाउने अलिकति चान्स पनि अलिकति बढी नै हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई होइन। अब हेरौँ यिनीहरूले के गर्छन्। मलाई लागिरहेको छ कुशल भुर्तेलले र आसिफ शेखले राम्रै गर्छन् जस्तो लागिरहेको छ। र ओभरको 7औँ ओभरको पहिलो बलमा चाहिँ कुशल भुर्तेलले 1 रन हानेका छन्। अब हेरौँ आसिफ शेखले के गर्छन् एक पछाडि। हेरौँ अब गेम के हुन्छ। होपफुल्ली गेम राम्रो नै हुन्छ, जस्तो हुन्छ जे हुन्छ राम्रैकै लागि हुन्छ। र अहिले भएको छ 46 रन, 6.1 ओभरमा 46 रन। यो भनेको त त्यति नराम्रो होइन, राम्रै छ। किनकि विकेट गएको छैन हामीसँग, विकेट छ हामीसँग 10 विकेट बाँकी छ। विकेट हुन्जेलसम्म पछाडि आउन बाँकी नै छ, हाम्रो केटाहरू आउन बाँकी नै छ। पछाडिसम्म त केटाहरूले बनाउँछन् नै बनाउँछन्, बनाउँछन् नै बनाउँछन् पछाडिसम्म केटाहरूले, यसमा त कुनै दुविधा नै छैन। मलाई लागिरहेको छ केटाहरूले चाहिँ सकेसम्म छिटो बनाइदियो हुन्थ्यो, छिटो बनाइदियो हुन्थ्यो भन्ने मात्रै भएको छ होइन। अब हेरौँ कति कसरी के हुन्छ। 1 रन 2 रन, 1 रन 2 रन यो ओभरमा चाहिँ 7 ओभरमा चाहिँ तेस्रो बल भइसक्यो, चौथो बल गर्न गइरहेका छन्। अब हेरौँ के हुन्छ चौथो बलमा। चौथो बलमा होपफुल्ली हामीले चाहिँ बलिङ गरेका छन्, स्ट्रोक गरेका छन्, एक एक रन ल्याउँछ जस्तो छ। जस्तो सिङ्गल 1 रन ल्याउनु सफल भएका छन् कुशल बोर्तल, ठिकै छ। 1 रन विकेट गएको छैन, राम्रो अहिलेसम्म राम्रो भइरहेको छ म्याच, अहिलेसम्म राम्रो भइरहेको छ। 1-2 छक्का लागे अथवा 1-2 चौका लाग्यो भने रन रेट पनि मेन्टेन हुन्थ्यो जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई होइन। अब 7 ओभरसम्ममा चाहिँ हामीले 50-55 जति ल्याउन सके, एक चौका छक्का हान्न सकेदेखि चाहिँ यो ओभरको पनि राम्रो हुन्थ्यो जस्तो लाग्छ। अब हेरौँ उनीहरूले के गर्छन्, होपफुल्ली राम्रै हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ होइन। यसो विचार गर्दाखेरि राम्रै हुन्छ जस्तो लागिरहेको छ। यसो विचार गर्दा यो ओभरमा चाहिँ सात 7 ओभर सकिएको छ र 49 रन नेपालले हानेको छ र अहिलेसम्म कुनै पनि विकेट गएको छैन, विच इज रियली गुड फर अस। विच इज रियली गुड फर अस। लेट्स सी। यो अब अर्को ओभरमा चाहिँ हेरौँ। राम्रै हुन्छ जस्तो लागिरहेको छ। अब हेरौँ। हेरौँ। पहिलो ओभर गरेका छन् कौशिकले गरेका छन् 1 रन। 1 रन हानेका छन्। तुषार बोर्तलले दोस्रो बल तुषार बोर्तलले खेलेका छन्। 7 ओभर 7.2 ओभरमा 50 रन हानेको छ। तेस्रो बल स्लग स्विप हानेको छन्। इट्स गुड शट। इट्स 6 फ्रम कुशल बुर्तेल राइट नाउ। ओके 7.3 ओभरमा उनले स्लग स्विपमा चाहिँ छक्का हानेको छन्। एकदमै कन्ट्रोलमा, एकदमै ब्युटिफुल, टाइमिङ पनि एकदमै राम्रो, बलको साउन्ड पनि, ब्याट र बलको साउन्ड पनि एकदमै स्विट सुनिएको छ। एकदमै राम्रो, एकदमै राम्रो। हेरौँ 2 छक्का अझै लाग्यो भने त एकदमै दामी हुन्थ्यो। 2 छक्का हामी अहिले त 7.5 को रेटमा छौँ अहिले। हेरौँ अब हामी यसलाई चाहिँ 10 सम्म पुर्याउन सक्यो भने 200 हान्न सकिन्थ्यो। हेरौँ केही छैन। हाम्रो केटाहरूको विकेटहरूको फेरि हानेको छन्। विकेट झरेको छ अहिले। एकदम ब्याड लक भएको छ कुशल भुर्जरको लागि। अम्पायरले चाहिँ आउट दिएका छन्। अब हेरौँ भुर्तेलले चाहिँ लिन्छन् कि लिँदैनन्। भुर्तेल गए। भुर्तेल फर्स्ट टाइम यो गेममा चाहिँ आउट भएका छन् भुर्तेल। ओहो रियली ब्याड फर भुर्तेल। पनि स्लगसिप गर्न गएका छन्, बिग सटको लागि गएका थिए र एलबिडब्लु भएका छन्। एकदमै एकदमै नेपालको लागि एकदमै बिग झट्का भएको छ अहिले। अब हेरौँ यसपछि आएर चाहिँ अरू ब्याट्सम्यानले चाहिँ गर्नेछन्। कुशल भुर्तेलले चाहिँ राम्रै खेलिरहेका थिए। उनले चाहिँ 28 बलमा 28 रनमा 26 बलमा 28 रन हानेका थिए र उनी अहिले आउट भएका छन्। उनले सेकेन्ड लास्ट बलमा चाहिँ उनले हानेका थिए, छक्का हानेका थिए। एकदमै राम्रो छक्का हानेका थिए। अब हेरौँ अब हिजो अस्तिको जसरी चाहिँ नेपालको चाहिँ विकेट त्यसरी खस्दैन। मलाई आशा छ, विश्वास छ हिजो अस्तिको जसरी चाहिँ पहिलाको चाहिँ ओपनर प्लेयरहरू चाहिँ आउट भए पछाडि अब यसरी आउटहरू हुँदैनन्। मलाई त्यस्तो लागिरहेको छ र हुनु पनि हुँदैन। यसरी हुँदै गयो भने चाहिँ गाह्रो हुन्छ। एकदमै राम्रो कुशल भुर्तेलले एकदम राम्रो खेलिरहेका थिए। अब बाई चान्स अब गइहाले, प्रेसरमा थिए। अनि कुशल भुर्तेल अलिकति प्रेसरमा थिए जस्तो लाग्यो, किनकि 20 बलमा चाहिँ 21 रन हानेको थिए र टिमको रन पनि त्यस्तो दामी चाहिँ भएको थिएन। ठिकै थियो। अब हेरौँ अब त्यस पछाडि चाहिँ युएले चाहिँ एकदम ब्रेक थ्रु पायो। अब यस पछाडि चाहिँ अब हामीले राम्रो खेलिन्छ। अब चाहिँ पावर प्ले पछाडि अलिकति ब्याटिङ गर्न अलिकति गाह्रै हुनसक्छ। आसिफ शेख छन्। अब हेरौँ उनले राम्रो ब्याटिङ गर्छन्। र उनले अहिलेसम्म राम्रो कनेक्ट पनि ब्याटमा राम्रो गरिरहेका छन्। चौका हाने, छक्का हाने, राम्रो राम्रो ब्याटिङ गरेका छन् उनले। अहिलेसम्म राम्रो ब्याटिङ गरेका छन्। हेरौँ उनले अब राम्रै गर्नेछन्। उनले एक छक्का आएर 3 चौका हानेका छन्। चौका हानेर चाहिँ 27 रन बनाएका छन् 21 बलमा। र उनको स्ट्राइक रेट रहेको छ 128। अहिलेसम्म त एकदम राम्रो हानिरहेका छन्। अब हेरौँ, अब अर्को ओभर पनि राम्रै हाल्छन्। अब आइरहेका छन्, हजुर अलि आइरहेका छन्। होपफुल्ली यिनको बलमा चाहिँ हान्न सक्छ। इनसाइड एज लागेको छ र किपरले चाहिँ समात्न सफल भएका छन्। 1 रन पनि भएको छैन। आसिफ शेख चाहिँ अहिले ब्याटिङ गरिरहेका छन्। इनसाइड एज थोरै अलिकति लक्की पनि रहे आसिफ शेख, किनकि यो उसमा लागेन। होपफुल्ली अब 4 रन अलिकति हान्न सक्यो भने यो अलिकति हुन्थ्यो जस्तो लागिरहेको छ मलाई। रोहित पौडेल आएका छन्। आरिफ शेख अहिले ब्याटिङ गरिरहेका छन्। एकचोटि चौका छक्का इट्स 6। it's look like 6, but I'm not too sure. Oh, it's 4. It's look like one bounce 4. Okay, but it's okay. Okay, it's look like it's like 6, but okay. Uh, okay, it look like 6, but they told it's 4, but it's okay. Okay. तेस्रो बल गर्न आइरहेका छन् गरे। सर्ट राम्रो थियो, गरे 1 रन। 1 रन ल्याउन सफल भए आसिफ शेख। अब पहिलो पटक रोहित पौडेलले यो बल दोस्रो बल हुन गएको छ उनले फेस गर्नको लागि। उनले दोस्रो बल फेस गर्दैछन्। पहिलो बलमा चाहिँ उनले डट खेलेका थिए, अब दोस्रो बल खेल्दैछन् छन्। हेरौँ उनले चाहिँ दोस्रो बलमा राम्रो गर्नेछन्। दोस्रो बलमा राम्रो गर्नेछन्। अब हेरौँ उनले के गर्छन्। होपफुल्ली उनी राम्रै गर्छन्। दोस्रो बल राम्रै गर्छन्। अब रोहित पौडेलले 1 रन ल्याएका छन्। ल राम्रो सुट हानेका छन्। अब हेरौँ कति रन हुन्छ।
Reaching outside. Impact outside. Wickets hitting. I'm afraid you need to overturn your decision. You'll be on screen now.
He should look to get his eye in before trying something extravagant. That's hit straight to the fielder. The bowler will have to be extra careful of the line he bowls to this field. Here is a fielder at deep extra cover. That is a very quick single taken. The bowler is bowling from his favorite end. Batsman can't find the gap. It's straight to the fielder. The captain has been good with his field placements. Edged and taken. That is huge peel. Bowler thinks he's got the batsman, but the umpire thinks otherwise.
Right, checking through no ball. Fair delivery. No problem. Can't see anything conclusive on Snickle. Can't see anything on the hotspot.
That is huge peel. Bowler thinks he's got the batsman, but the umpire thinks otherwise. That's 6. He picked up the length very early. There is a fielder at cover. Nudges it for a single. The bowler is bowling from his favorite end. He is unlucky there and once again hit straight to the fielder. The captain has been good with his field placements. Strokes it into the gap for a single. That is huge peel. Bowler thinks he's got the batsman, but the umpire thinks otherwise. Oh, shot, but only a single. In bowling here, spinner into the attack now. Here is a fielder at deep extra cover. The bowler is bowling from his favorite end. That was a quick single. Nice running between the wickets. They should look to up the run rate a bit. He is unlucky there and once again hit straight to the fielder. The captain has been good with his field placements. Big appeal and up goes the finger. Oh, that's close. It's a huge appeal. That is a very good shout, and they're going to review it.
Right, checking for a no ball. Fair delivery, no problem. Reaching outside. Impact outside. Wickets hitting. I'm afraid you need to overturn your decision. It'll be on screen now.
He should look to get his eye in before trying something extravagant. That's hit straight to the fielder. The bowler will have to be extra careful of the line he bowls to this field.
Use that hashtag, please. T20 World Cup. That's what we're playing for. 3 places at T20 World Cup in February and March next
Here
year.
is a fielder
Co-hosted
at
by
the
India
extra
and Sri
cover.
Lanka. And I can already see the, I'm going to call them biblical scenes if Nepal were to qualify and play in India. Now,
That is a
obviously,
very quick signal taken.
group placements and seedings and all that will have to wait to be announced. I'd expect the ICC to announce those pretty swiftly after this final qualifier.
The bowler is bowling
We know
from his
17
favorite
of
end.
20 teams that have qualified, as they will take on the second this time. Good running from Asif Sheikh. Maybe just an instruction from Stuart Law, who we saw out with the batters, that let's start to get moving with 9 wickets in hand. The reason it would be biblical, there would be tens, if not hundreds of thousands of Nepali people who would come across the border and try to be a part of the most amazing journey for their team.
It will be a very good thing for Nepal if Nepal qualifies for the 2026 T20 World Cup. We don't even need a visa to go to India.
It's a very porous border, isn't it? They call it one of the most porous in the world. A lot of kind of exchange between the two countries, very friendly relations, of course. Are you guaranteeing every game is a sellout, Paresh, for the Nepal, the 4 group games they would play?
Well, I still don't know about that, but you can make sure that many Nepalis will be in the stadium if Nepal qualifies.
I'll do it for you, Paresh. I promise you, if Nepal play their 4 group games in any part of India, well, imagine if it was Dharamshala or up in Delhi, especially so, but wherever they are in India, I think we will see a sea of blue and red if they qualify. A lot of cricket to be played to get there. I'll tell you something, I've been so impressed with the likes of Japan and Qatar. I know Qatar in a difficult position now with, in essence, 2 losses in the Super 6. Oh, inside edge and a bit of fortune for Asif Sheikh there. That could have gone anywhere. I also don't rule out Samoa, but I think if there was one to upset the apple cart, it might be the winner of tonight's contest. The 3 highest ranked sides are the 3 favourites because they carried 2 points through. Here's the inside edge. Do you think you said those 3?
I Rohit ball shake the last shot to the inside edge. Again, lack of feet movement.
Yeah, I think there's a fatigue factor. I know he's trying to absolutely very fit young man like so many of this Nepal squad, but he's trying to get his feet moving. But just when you're in this humidity, it's like your legs are sort of stuck in jelly almost. Finally got back on the treadmill after seeing a few photos of myself in that shirt the other night. So when I was in the gym, oh god, it was like that. It's shape just going through that. Patch here, isn't it? Nepal aren't by any stretch in a comfortable enough position at the end of the 11:79 for one that they would feel as though they're ahead of the game. They'd be pleased with what they've done thus far, but the last 9 overs are critical.
They are very critical. They have to get at least 170 because UAE's batters, especially talking about Mohammad Wazim, is in very good nick. His last score was 84 against Malaysia. He was cheaply taken by the Qatar in the first game of the group stages. It's going to be Hyder Ali from the media box end.
Big 2 overs these. Hit too well, so will only be the single. Again, Powell's pushing for the second. Sheikh is just starting to show signs of fatigue, understandably. You have to assess the match, don't you? You have to recognise you have 9 wickets in hand.
And talking about the fatigue, it's very, very warm out there. Diving effort there by the fielder at backward point. Dot ball. It's about Rohit Patel, what he does very swiftly. He plays the ball very late with very soft hands. And whenever he tries to hit hard, he uses his bottom hand.
Speared in this time. The boundaries have dried up a touch, haven't they? And for Nepal, they need to assess when to take risk from here. With those 9 wickets in hand, with the assets that they have to come. And if I was Stuart Law, I would be getting Gulshan Jah with the pads on.
Yeah, get 2 left-handers ready to come in.
I think you should have all options in terms of who could come in next. Other option, of course, is to say to Mala, spinners are bowling, go at it. Remember, Dhruv Parashar hasn't bowled a ball yet because there's 2 right-handers at the crease and has been throughout the innings.
Even if you talk about matchups, a left-hander batsman coming in and cut away into the gap. They're running hard, but it's not going to be the second run. Talking about the off-spinners bowling to left-handers, Kushal Malla White fancies his chances against the off-spinner as well.
Yeah, I think sacrificial lamb is the incorrect term, but I would send Mala in with a license to explode. Say, look, if you get caught at long on, so be it. We still have lots of wickets in hand. But what Mala has is an X factor. 12 have been bowled, 83 for 1. That's why I thought his return to the squad was so important. Just the 3 off the over. Hyder Ali continues to be, 4 off it. Really impressive. But I would be probably revving Mala up right now.
It can be the plan for these 2 batters not to go after Hyder Ali. That can be the case as well.
But I suppose if Mala's out there, he should be sent in with that implicit intent. Stuart Law, go to his young X Factor player and say, it's so warm out there. I don't think we're going to be able to actually see who's got the pads on. Just the sub fielders, the 4 with the yellow vests on, out in the sun. As Robert Powell looks for that scoop shot, doesn't get anything on it. He's got 13 off 13. The runs are drying up here. UAE will be quietly quite satisfied with the last 3 or 4 overs.
Yeah, the last over, just 4 runs coming off Hyder Ali's ball. Over, that was the 12th over. It's Ali who's bowling his 3rd. A touch expensive, but first ball of this over is a dot ball. Rohit Pollard trying a ram shot, but wasn't able to do so.
Yeah, thanks to our team for finding that. It's just Kushal Patel out there. I think it might be Sandeep Jura on his left. Is it behind the pole without the pads on? So that might indicate that those inside the dressing room will probably be Mala and Jah with the pads on. And yeah, you can see Kushal Patel just talking there to Gyanendra Mala. Can't quite make out who's behind the pole. Is it Sandeep Jura? I think it might be, is it?
I think it's Sandeep Jura, but he hasn't has his pads on.
Well, he's not going to be in next then, is he? At number 4. So, yeah, slightly concerning period of play for Nepal. And probably some discussions going on. Of course, Nick Pothas is here alongside Stuart Law, the head coach, who's done such a good job since coming in. The runs have really dried up here. And if you just look at the last 4 or 5 overs, they've gone for 8, 6, 4, and now this one's only gone for 2. There was one boundary in the 10th, and then the maximum just before Kushal Bertel got out, but really the big overs have dried up.
Rohit Podell, he has to take calculated risks now. I overheard Nick saying to Kushal Malla, today is the day, today is your day.
Today is his day. And yet he's often one that comes in for a little criticism from the Nepal fans because he has a occasional glut of low scores. This one's chipped in the air, and Powell not finding any fluency. Wasim fields athletically. The direct hit, though, is going to allow a second. Skipper probably should have held on to that. It was a very flamboyant piece of fielding and marvellous, and he says, yes, sorry. Probably just as well it wasn't Junaid Siddique, the bowler.
Just chipped in front towards Milan.
Reaction as well.
Between the wickets, these two.
Great awareness, yeah. But the reaction from Wasim as he threw it said, oh no, what have I done? I think even the captain is relieved that Junaid Siddique wasn't bowling there because he would have got a spray from his big fast bowler. Just saw there as well, the square leg umpire, because of the sun, which is so low, he's actually at point. And that makes a lot of sense for Rashid Riaz. Again, Nepal just happy to nudge it around. They will get the second this time. Throw goes to the non-striker's end. A little bit of frustration from UAE in the field and a few hands on hips out there. Neither side is ahead of the game here. These are very nervy moments, nervy exchanges in this big Associate El Clasico clash.
The strike rate of Asif Sheikh is just dropping a bit. Good running between the wickets between these two. Very fit guys, these Nepali players. You can see Dipendra Singh Airi, Rohit Podell, Kushal Patel, Asif Sheikh, Gulshan Jha. Sompal Khami is also so fit.
Nicely worked again. I think there's 2 more here because it's perfectly placed. So even if the boundaries aren't coming, at least there's some good intent in between the wickets, and they've managed to find a way to get 8 off that over. Big 7 overs remain here in Muscat. It's 91 for 1. Yeah, there it is. No really big overs since that 5th over that went for 12. What would Nepal be comfortable or confident of defending, Paresh? They do have a very good bowling attack, and then some of the fielding we've seen with Irie, who else, to the fore, has been world class.
At the toss, Rohit said that we'll try to get a big score, but he didn't number the score. He just said a big score.
Very poor interviewing from your co-commentator. I should have asked him. What was I thinking? Usually do get in that question. Quite often the captain, if you do ask them that, will say, we'll assess it as we go. They rarely give you a number, or if they give you a number, it can be miles off what they're actually thinking. Dhruv Parashar will come into the attack for the first time. It does bowl off breaks, but has the ability to kind of take that little carom ball away. He's someone who's been very impressive. Again, another one of that incredible Emirati development system. Andy Russell and all the team at UAE Cricket have done a phenomenal job through all 7 of the Emirates. Slashed away behind square and the offside. Should get a couple again. They've also, it's not just the T20, but the development league that sits underneath that. We've seen Jonathan Figge, who's forced his way back in through that. I think 450s consecutively he made in that competition. They have the world-class facilities. Okay, in the summer it's probably too hot, but in the winter they've got the most perfect cricketing climate. And yeah, in many ways they've got so many things going for them. Sometimes they underperform. They could argue they shouldn't be bottom of the table in Cricket World Cup League 2, for example. Good diving stop there from Kaushik. Keeps it to a dot. But there's no doubt the production line of local talent born and bred in the UAE in the last 5 or 6 years has been really impressive.
The facilities in UAE are very, very good. Just didn't release the ball in that occasion by Parashar. And talk about facilities, there's Sharjah Cricket Stadium, the ICC Academy, Dubai Sports City Stadium, even Abu Dhabi. We have plenty of cricket grounds there.
You'll put the sevens as well, which is a little bit out. You've got to go quite a bit inland from the sort of fancy sites of the marina and Business Bay and the like, probably 40 minutes into the desert. Phenomenal facilities out there. Plenty of English counties go across and use those for pre-season. Up in Ajman, there's a really good cricket ground being developed. Plenty of facilities there. Good over this, and just pressure building up in a big way on Asif Sheikh. He's hit a lull in his innings and he can't get it away. He's got to get on with it or get out here. They're the two options for Asif Sheikh.
Yes, still 9 wickets remain. This is the 14th over, the last ball of the 14th over. He has to get on with the game. He's on 44 or 40.
Tries the big shots and just is going to get the nearly full maximum reward, but a sensational stop. Basil Hamid might have done himself a nuisance. He's definitely saved 6. He saves 4 runs in total, but he looks in real agony. Concerning scenes. I just wonder, is he going to be okay? He immediately went down. The doctor is sprinting across the outfield. A heroic effort from him. Looked like it was 6 all the way, didn't it? And what a stop this is. Sensational. And let's just hope he hasn't done himself such a nuisance. He looks in, Paresh, really concerning scenes. He's in the best possible hands of Dr. Manish, the long-standing team doctor for the UAE. But the reaction was a dislocated shoulder. That was my initial instinct. Trying to get a bit of movement into it. Let's hope it's only jarred. They can be the same feeling. A jarred shoulder you can recover from immediately. A dislocated one, you're in real trouble. But what a stop.
It was a definitely good effort by Hamid. Can be jarred or it can be a dislocated shoulder. We have to wait.
Well, there's also an on-field medical crew. This is a great angle of it here. And you can see definitely in time, you could just see the immediate reaction from Hamid was that he knew something was wrong, probably on the left-hand side. And the 2 medical officers that are part of the ambulance team here have now sprinted across the outfield too. They are applying significant medical attention. We had a short break in play. We're probably going to continue. UAE team manager is over as well. Concerning scenes for the UAE, remember, that was not a head injury, so he would not be allowed a concussion replacement. There is a potential, unless Hamid can recover, that, good to see him up. That's great news. It's actually his right shoulder, so it might have been the landing. Swing and a miss as Mohamed Rohid comes into the attack. Let's hope he can bat. Let's hope, more importantly, he's okay. And at least he's up on his feet. I think it's the left hand he stopped it with, but then he's landed heavily on the right shoulder.
Look at the replay here. Excellent stop. And yes, the shoulder was given a weight, the whole body weight went down on his right shoulder.
You'd be concerned with the way he's holding that arm, if that makes sense. It looks a nasty injury. Rohit Powdell straight to long on, finds the man. And a disappointing innings for the skipper, could never really quite get going. He's going to have to go for 20. Easiest of catches held by the subfielder who's just come on, Mohamed Farouk. Powdell's got to go. Nepal maybe just in a spot of bother. Can't get the run rate moving the way they would like. UAE fighting back. Rohit strikes.
It was a short ball, gave himself room, but straight to long on. Rohit Paudel had to go because they are not scoring runs. The boundary was drying up. He had to go. Again, gets out on 20s of 19 ball. Just a 4 in this innings. Just a single 4 for him.
Now, the fascination will be, which way does Stuart Law turn? He's going to show a lot of faith in the youngster Kushal Malla and stick with him at number 4, despite the fact it's Mohamed Rohid at the bowling currently with 4 balls left in the over. Yeah, definitely the subfielder who took the catch out at long on. But they'll put a big show of faith in Kushal Malla, who hits a massive ball. The reason I've described him as an X-Factor player At times in his career, he's had a strike rate up at 160, 170. Nepal need to finish with a flourish here. They continue at this rate, they're only going to end up with 130 or 140, which they'll need to bowl and field exceptionally well to defend. Big final 5 overs after this one coming up. Can Mala make an impact on the tournament for the first time?
Identifying Kushal Malla is on strike. Rohit bowls a short ball into the body.
Great comeback from Rohit because he was, well, treated with a bit of disdain. The only benefit for the Nepal side, I know Junaid Siddique has plenty of overs left, but he's got 2, so he'll probably bowl 18 and 20. Rohit will be bowled out after this over, so there will be maybe 3 overs to target from the final 5. Mala gets off the mark, just punches that one down the ground. What will the discussion have been from Stuart Law, Nick Pothas, Skynendra Mala to Kushal Mala, the youngster? What will they have said to him going out there? Play with complete freedom, look for the boundaries from the off?
That is what the case should have been. The 3 support staff, the head coach, the batting consultant, and the assistant coach, Ganendra Malla, they must have given freedom to Kushal Malla to go and hit the ball.
Big appeal. Has this pitched in line is the question, and I think no is the answer. Asif Sheikh's lull continues. Let's get another look here. Oh, we pitched a long way outside the leg stump. That's going to smash into middle. Doesn't matter a bit.
This is excellent bowling by Mohammad Rohit. Got a wicket of Podel, the captain of Nepal. Now bowling dot balls, only a single run coming off this over, the 15th.
His first 2 overs went for 20. Incredible to think of the comeback since then. It shows how much T20 can change. Great skills from the left armour. He's going to finish with the superb figures of 1 for 28. I think the UAE are on top with 5 to go, and Nepal need to change something. Despite having 8 wickets in hand, the men from the Himalayas are in a spot of bother. It is 97 for 2. Seen the 6 bowlers use. Basil Hamid, of course, is the other off-spinning option, but with him off the surface, he won't bowl again. And you just sense now that Nepal are getting themselves into a territory where they need to have a flying finish. Hyder Ali will almost certainly bowl one of the last 5. Junaid Siddique will bowl 2 of them. Maybe Zahid Ali will bowl the other, and it will be Drug Parashar to bowl the 16th. But Nepal haven't been able to get a hold of him either. They're in a spot of bother here, the Rhinos. Not able to capitalise upon that excellent opening partnership, Paresh.
Yeah, it all started in the middle overs where, because of the heat, we think that Asif Sheikh was a bit down, but they were taking 2 runs, Rohit Podel and Asif Sheikh.
Yeah, and there's many ways to, probably not the greatest expression, many ways to skin a cat, isn't there, in terms of you can do it in multiple manners, getting 8 or 9 runs per over. You don't need to get 4s and 6s if you run well between the wickets. Kushal Mala may well take on the spinner. But as a consequence, Parrott just darts it in and is happy to keep him to a single. 10 and over from here would get them to in and around 150. It's probably what they need, Paresh.
They need minimum of 150 just to have a game out of it, because you very well know how Mohammad Wasim is in a very good nick. And it's that if Wasim scores runs,
cut away. Now, this is a nice looking shot, and it should be good enough to get 50 for Asif Sheikh. He gets to the landmark. Good piece of footwork in the deep, keeps it to just 2. It's come off 45 deliveries. He's played elegantly as always. Remember, he was the one who made the not out 50 in the semi-final between these 2 sides 2 years ago. No real acknowledgement to the landmark, but it is a 9th T20 I-50 to go alongside 13 ODI 50s. And his highest score in his career, 68. You'll want to go past that today. Needs to get on with it, doesn't he?
That is why he's giving himself from trying to play over extra cover over Mohammad Wasim's head.
I think quietly Mohammad Wasim has captained this innings beautifully. And he's putting on a bit of a masterclass, a clinic in how to captain when not taking wickets, but restrict the opposition and put them under pressure. Something's got to give here between the two sides. Clever bowling again. Not an ounce of flight for Kushal Malla to work with over his favourite zone of long on.
Bowling it outside the off stump, bit flat and not giving the air, not bowling in the zone of Kushal Malla that he can hit across the line.
Have to remember they've got a red hot Gulshan Jah chomping at the bit to get out there. Big appeal and no need for it because it's cannon into middle stump. Asif Sheikh could just never quite get going. It is that little carom ball, I think, maybe just held in the surface a touch. He did get 50, a 9th T20 international 50, goes past 1,500 T20I runs. In the process, he's played nicely, but surely it's got to be Kushal Malla to the crease now. Very good bowling.
Just missed the ball completely. I think it hit the back thigh and went into rattle the stumps.
Yeah, I think that's why he was appealing. He thought that it might have been Plum LBW, which it would have been, but you don't need to appeal for the LBW when it flicks the pad. So at the end of Asif Sheikh's innings, he gets a warm round of applause from his teammates going off. UAE keep impressing, 103 for 3. Well, a big call, potentially because they don't want the two left-handers at the crease together. They're going to go with Dipendra Singh Airi at number 5, not the red-hot Gulshan Jah. And whilst Airi is a fantastic all-round record, and of course he loves this ground, became just the 5th ever international cricketer to hit 6 consecutive sixes in the same over. Here against Qatar last year in the ACC Premier, it's going to be all about whether he can get going quickly. Big over this one. Hyder Ali to Kushal Malla. Malla's got to go downtown. He's got to go big. And Nepal have got to get themselves into this contest. Really good knowledge. It's cut away, though. He goes very close to the rope. Another good diving stop. Just quietly, UAE's fielding's been impressive. That's 2 more runs saved.
From the start, they've been feeling very good. UAE fielders, again, bowling outside the line of off stump, not giving air, not bowling in that zone where Kushal Malla can just step on one knee and play across the line. That is his favorite shot, down to mid-wicket or long on.
Speared in down the leg side. That's going to help. Take every run they can get now. 3 freebies. Airi wants to turn it into 4. It'll be 3 wides. Malla's got to take a risk here, doesn't he? He's got to find a way to pump him downtown.
Drifting his line. He was trying to bowl a block hole, Hyder Ali, but going towards the leg stump. Freebies for Nepal.
The Nepal fans are chanting and making as much noise as they can just to try and get their team going. They know they're behind the 8 ball. Just a single again. Good bowling from Ali. They've given no flights at all to Malla. They know their opponents here, the UAE.
Still 7 wickets remaining for Nepal. Gulshan Jah yet to come. Sundeep Zora yet to come. Played that fantastic innings against West Indies in Sharjah.
Good little crowd building up all of a sudden. Managed to find a way in. Been a few bits of pleading with the bosses. Please, boss, I need to leave. Zaire goes through the offside, just a single. Those singles at the moment not really hurting the UAE. This has to be the matchup, doesn't it? Even if Mala's going to need to dance down the track, he's got to find a way to show that power that he possesses.
Hyder Ali is not giving that air to the ball so that Mullah coming down the track is not a possibility. Just staying there.
Well ball this time into the block hole, so not able to get underneath it or find the elevation that he would like. Every over without a boundary for the UAE at this late stage is a win for them.
8 runs coming off the first 4 balls of this over. They have to make it count, the remaining 2 balls. Dipender Singh Airi and Kushal Malla.
Now Airi looks for the big one, but it's straight to Mohammad Wasim, and Hyder Ali, well, he is pumped up in a big way. Big celebration. Nothing from his teammates. He was giving it the big one, leaping into the air like David Warner. And the catch taken with a minimum of fuss. Airi's 6 hitting exploits at this venue aren't on show today. The majority of the second half of this innings has belonged to the men from UAE. They've been excellent.
Didn't get a good piece of it. Got the inner part of the bat. Simplest of catches for Mohammad Wasim. But take that kind of a catch with eyes closed.
Airi's got to go for 1. It's 111 for 4. And now, perhaps a little more delayed than some of the Nepal fans would have liked, it is Gulshan Jah who will come to the crease, but he'll only have 19 balls to be out there for at most. For me, he's been exceptional this tournament. He's made such a difference. The impact that he has had has been quite sensational. Could have argued that he's the game changer in both games so far. He's also got the highest strike rate of the tournament at 184. He'll face up to Hyder Ali. Is unable to get off the mark because it's speared in great figures. We called Hyder Ali out as one to watch. He's a real find for the UAE. He's helped put the Emiratis on top. 1-1-1 for 4. Gigantic final 3 overs in the context of Nepal's campaign, in the context of UAE's campaign, and both sides' hopes of going back to the T20 World Cup. It'll be Junaid Sadiq with all his death bowling quality to bowl 18 and 20. And he beats Kushal Malla outside the off stump. UAE's last 7 overs have been exceptional. Nepal have been found wanting.
Kushal Malla beaten outside the off stump. Ball just moving away from the left-hander after pitching. How often do we see that a wicket falling at the score of Nelson?
Yeah, often David Shepherd was the one. Great former English umpire. We lost another legend of the game, Dickie Byrne, quite recently. Always superstitious. Malla chips that one down the ground. Now, Jah has a phenomenal record this tournament and a great record against the UAE. Maybe most famously that game on March 16th back in 2023 that you and I and anyone connected to associate cricket will probably never forget. He hit 20 off an over of Mohammad Wasim. But it's an altogether different prospect against Junaid Sadiq.
It is a very smart bowler, Junaid Sadiq. We can see that he's moving the ball after pitching. That is lateral movement for him. Kushal Malla not getting the ball. Very good connection.
Chips it down the ground. He did pretty well. He may have it well enough to get to the rope. Yes, that has hit into the rope, and it's another injury, it looks like. landing on the rope, getting himself into a spot of bother, and Gulshan Jah is at it again.
The midfielder was inside the circle, Mohamed Hussein. That's why it resulted in the boundary. Good effort by the fielder there, but I think he's rubbed his tummy on top of the ball.
I think it's the shoulder again, and it's Alishan Sharafu. More concern for the UAE. And again, Dr. Manish is having a hair across the turf. He's dived full length. I think what's happened there is he's landed with his right shoulder on top of the rope. I hope that one is just going to be a bruise and a bit of a jarring and not some kind of dislocation, but we'll have a second subfielder on, no doubt about that.
Excellent effort by Sharafu. Gets its right shoulder on top of the rope and bangs it. So it's okay. The umpire just sending off the medical staff.
The 12th player for Nepal is trying to find their voice. It's actually a lovely interaction between Rohit Pound and Mohamed Hussein, who are, yes, rival captains, but very good friends off the field and a huge amount of respect for each other. Two great leaders, two of the finest associate captains, you'd have to say. And Mohamed Hussein looked up to the lead descent to the grandstand here and said, "No 12th player today for you, for poets," because they hadn't come in yet. And he goes, I think there'll be a few along later. And he goes, maybe not as many as the other day. Understandably, again, of course, because of the fact it's the first day of the working week. But this is the first time they've really found their voice, because one of their real favourites, he's an absolute fan favourite. You can understand why. Gulshan Jah is in. He's got his first boundary. What can he do with the 15 remaining deliveries? Can he get this Nepal innings moving? Parted away into the offside. He's at it again. Gulshan Jah is playing the best cricket of his life. I have no idea how he's got that all the way for 6. He's picked the slower ball and stood there and simply devastated it over the offside. Outstanding batting.
Bottom hand coming into play. Sliced it over the infield on the offside.
How's he got that for 6?
Is because of the bottom hand coming into play.
Extraordinary shot.
If you remember, he hit 1-6 against West Indies.
Yeah, similar, wasn't it? Good shout in the end. Bit of pressure now on Sadiq. Pressure on UAE maybe for the first time. Goes through the offside again. Gets a good piece of it again. Gets 4 more. Shades of that over against Mohamed Hussein. Back at the TU. And it's got the Nepal fans dancing up in the crowd. They have just one player they love more than anyone right now. It's the young Gulshan Jah.
Again, getting himself through and playing towards extra cover into the gap. Placement was excellent by Gulshan Jah. 3 boundaries on a trot. 4, 6, and a 4.
Well, he made 20 off 5, didn't he, against Kuwait? That completely changed the game. He's got 14 off 4 here. It's the hardest art in the modern game. Coming to the crease, Tim David does it so brilliantly for Australia. Every single franchise, every single international team wants a player who can come in and score immediately. Jazz doing it yet again for Nepal here. For the toss, heaved into the leg side, could be taken is. And Junaid Sadiq strikes back. Big moment in the game. And Gulshan Jah asking for a no ball. We're asking, there's something maybe just happened after the dismissal. Whether there was a word or some contact between the two. Jazz not happy. It was short and it's sweet and he's gone now.
It was a good catch by the fielder at deep mid-wicket. Sliding to his front. Send off by the fielder as well.
Just wonder what's happened here. I don't know if we have the replay of after the ball. Junaid Sadiq has now been given a real talking to by Rashid Riaz. Whether it was a word or whether there was some contact, I don't know. He's only lasted 5 balls, but he's had an impact with that 4-6-4 burst, much more like what Nepal needed. But Junaid Sadiq has the last laugh. Jazz gone for 14, 126 for 5. Well, concerning scenes for the UAE. That's two of their batters, two of their top order batters, that there is an injury cloud hanging over. And just a reminder, we only have the complete replacement in case of a concussion or a head injury. So both of those two Emirati batters are going to have to find a way to bat. The microscope goes even further now on Mohammad Wasim. It'll be Ali to bowl the 19th. Mala is joined by Sundeep Jora. Mala's got to find a way to get in the act now. Helps this round the corner. No timing though. Will pick up a couple. Hasn't really got anything going yet, Kushal Mala.
Was pace off, hitting the deck by Ali. Good change of pace. That is why Malla didn't time it as well as he'd liked. Only 2 runs off the first ball, off the penultimate over.
Big 11 balls this. Mala needs to find some boundaries. Ideally, for Nepal, he needs to clear the ropes a couple of times. Good bowling, and it's a little feather of an outside edge. It's going to be the end of Mala. Big celebration for Zahid Ali. I think it was a slower ball, an off-cutter. Excellent catch from Rahul Chopra. And Mala's got to trudge off for a third low score. He's gone for 10.
Rahul Chopra has been very good behind the stumps. Slower ball off cutter. There was a bit of turn as well. That's why it took the edge of Kushal Malla.
Al have got themselves in a tangle. They've lost 2 in the course of just 3 deliveries. Ja, the big one, and now Mala rather forlornly has to walk back. He's gone for 10. It's 128 for 6. Great execution. And definite turn off that off cutter, like you said, Paresh. Felt this would be an over that Nepal should be targeting with the inexperience internationally of Zahid Ali. Remember, Mohammad Rohid was bowled out earlier. Still have 10 balls left, Nepal, and they still have 4 wickets in hand. Sampal Kami will come to the crease. What can they muster up? Can they find a way to scrap up to 140 or something above that? Again, it's that off cutter, worked into the offside. Kami, well, Jora wanted the second. Kami sends him back, probably rightly so.
The fielder was very quick to the ball. So Balkami opening his account on the first ball that is paced. That was exceptionally good bowling by Ali. The off cutter, the ball turning like an off spinner, getting the edge of Kushal Malla.
Yeah, maybe a few signs for Nepal's bowlers, particularly their spinners, that they'll have some joy in the second innings. But for now, it's all about these 9 balls. Actually, Jora's first delivery, he's faced way into the 19th over here. Snare ball, pumped down the ground. Kami should get back for the second and comfortably with the fumble out at long off. Do you think it's been a misstep, almost placing too much onto the shoulders of Gulshan Jah with his form, getting him to the crease so late, Paresh?
That is what we thought Gulshan Jah will be sent as a finisher. That is what he did. Scored 4, 6 and a 4. And it was a full toss that he got out to.
For me, he's such a good player. He needs to be thought about as more than just a finisher. Yorker attempted and pretty much nailed. Kami thinks of the second, but it's the shorter side of the ground, so it'll just be 1. Credit to the UAE, their fielding, potentially it will be quite costly in terms of 2 bodies that could have significant injuries there. Basil Hamid and Alishan Sharafu, but their fielding's been very good, and in general, their bowling execution exceptional.
The effort the fielders have shown, 2 injuries, 2 shoulder injuries for UAE players. Hope they come to back.
I think Nepal will be looking at it and thinking, if we get Wasim early, we're right in the game. If we don't, we're in trouble. To the offside. Very elegant batter for someone who's as low down the order as he is. Sampal Kami, technically ever so correct, the all-rounder. He'll have an important role to play with the new ball too. 19 ball, 133 for 6.
Six ball remain of the innings. Nepal 133 for 6. It's going to be Sonpal Kami on strike.
Since this final over is critical, it's almost as though I've been saying that the whole innings, every part, the remainder of the first innings is important, but Sadiq keeps it to 7 or less, keeps Nepal to 140 or less, and UAE take all the momentum in. Somehow Kami and Jora need to find the rope. Into the block hole and given, it's an inside edge taken by Chopra, who I don't think he was certain about the inside edge because he tried to affect the stumping. And there's been a bit of carry on now. We did see the decision given out. Kami is staying there for the moment. And now Rashid Riaz is saying not out because of a combination of whether it's the keeper himself or maybe the square leg umpire, possibly saying that the catch wasn't held. I think the end result is going to be 1 run. And this will make for a fascinating replay.
The keeper, Rahul Chopra, he just had a shy at the stumps after taking the ball. That indicates that the catch hasn't been carried.
Well, exactly. That's what you would have thought. So let's have a look. It is an inside edge. Held it at first and then dropped it clearly. So great spirit of cricket from Rahul Chopra. See, you feel a bit here for umpire Rashid Riaz because he's been right in terms of the fact that the inside edge was affected. But then what's happened is Chopra's gone so quickly to his left, taking the catch at first, then it bobbles out, hits the turf. Jora runs through for the single. They're appealing, it's given out, and then the throw comes to the non-striker's end. I think at that point, the single is going to count. They end up trying to run him out at the non-striker's end. Chaos reigns, and I think a bit of common sense, a good spirit of cricket, both from Rahul Chopra, Mohammad Wazeem on show. They say, okay, we understand the catch has gone down. We're happy with the single being given. And Rahul Chopra reverses his decision, and it ends up as a single, bringing Jora onto strike. All happening in Muscat. Helped into the leg side. Those low full tosses from Sadiq's pace have proven effective, getting the wicket of Gulshan Jan. Batter's not able to get it away.
This is excellent bowling by Junaid Siddique. Bowling those low full tosses, it's very hard for a batsman to clear the boundaries with those. Excellent last over. Only 2 singles of the first 2 balls. 4 balls remaining. Nepal 135 for 6.
Going very deep in his crease. Look at that. Has to be careful. That's why he's a little bit outside off as well. He's anticipating the full length delivery from Sadiq, trying to get underneath it. Instead he goes to the cutter. It's helped away over the offside. Should get a couple. Game of cat and mouse between the batter and bowler. Kami reacts quite nicely. No boundaries coming though. This is going to be a below par total for Nepal, Paresh, we feel.
Wasim will take this. No boundaries in the last over. Only a couple in the last ball. 4 runs coming off the first 3 balls. They need to look for boundaries. They need to get boundaries. Sonpal Kami in particular in the strike.
3 balls left. In bowling, it's an in-swinging Yorker. All Kami can do is dig it out. 1 more single to the total. It's such a huge game, this, not just because they're rivals, Paresh, but the winner of this will feel as though they almost have 1 step onto the drawbridge of the plane to head to India and Sri Lanka. The loser is looking at the remaining fixtures and going, we probably can't make another mistake.
Very true, Lenny. The 2 teams carrying 2 points into the Super Sixes. This is an excellent over by Junaid Siddique.
Brilliant skills from the big fast bowler. Goes short, goes wide. Oh, gets away with it. Side on replay will be interesting here. He wanted the wide. It's given as a bye instead. Was that too short for Esha? I'm not talking about a wide on width. I think it was inside the guideline, but did look quite short, and Jora is short in stature.
This is good variation by Junaid Siddiq. That's fine.
Great umpiring. That's why he's down there. That's why I'm up here. Exceptional. Yeah, really good umpiring from umpire Muckle. Correctly given as the bye. Brilliant Yorker. Could have missed the leg stump, but it's been a showcase in death bowling of the highest quality from Junaid Siddiq. Nepal will have to be satisfied with an even 140. They won't get any more. They probably don't deserve any more because the UAE have been exceptional. The big concerns for them are those two shoulder injuries to Basil Hamid and Alishan Sharafu, both top order batters. We're not sure whether or not they'll be able to play a full part in the second innings. We'll try and get you an update on that in between the two innings. But that is the Nepal batting card. Plenty of starts for Esh, but with the exception of Gulshan Jazz, strike rate up towards 300. Nobody really doing it at a rate that will threaten the UAE.
Apart from the opening stand, apart from the power play, the first 6 overs, not getting those runs. This is the bowling card, Junaid Siddiq. Every bowler, there were 6 bowlers used, each and every bowler getting a wicket apiece.
6 bowlers, every one of them having some success. For me, the pick of them, though, was Hyder Ali. Thought he was really impressive with his 1 for 22. And good use of Harshit Kaushik. And actually, it was an excellently captained innings from Mohammad Wasim. We'll get a look at the best of the highlights. And the opening partnership worth 56 was probably Nepal's best period of that innings. Once the power play ended, the runs started to dry up. Asif Sheikh looked really good, hitting through the offside very comfortably and confidently, including a couple of flowing shots through his favourite extra cover region. That big 6 over long off to go with it. Then the fight back started to come, and it wasn't necessarily a fight back in terms of many wickets. Kushal Patel got that one over the leg side. This was the LBW decision, the first one to fall, but they kept things really tight. And Asif Sheikh just went into a bit of a lull, couldn't get things going. That was the one that maybe could have been given as 6, but was given as 4. Rohit Paudel only found the 1 boundary. And you'd have to say that Nepal are shy of where they'd like to be.
Again, Asif Sheikh, after reaching his 50, trying to slug that ball, getting the thigh and the ball running into the stumps. Paudel again getting out on 20s. This is the over where Gulshan Jazz smashed 4, 6 and a 4 before getting out in a full toss.
And that was the only double-digit over outside the power play. That went for 15. There was the 5th over that went for 12. Everything else was single digits. Disappointment for Ja was that both he and Mala fell inside 3 balls. And then a pretty limp finish as Jora and indeed Sampal Kami couldn't get anything going at the death. Don't go anywhere too far because the UAE have run rather significantly over time bowling their overs. It means we'll only have a 10-minute turnaround. The restart time is in 8 minutes from now. We'll be off air for 5 minutes. Time to go find a cup of tea wherever you are in the world. Some kind of liquids. We're going to get some water in. It's very warm here in Muscat. Can UAE make it a perfect start to their Super 6 campaign? They'll need 141 to win. Find out live with us here on ICC TV. Welcome back here to Muscat. We're in the beautiful Sultanate of Oman for this ICC Men's T20 World Cup Asia, East Asia Pacific joint qualifier. The first time the two regions have come together in a final. We're deciding spots number 18, 19 and 20 in next year's ICC Men's T20 World Cup. 17 of the qualifiers have been decided. All 12 full members have got there this time. They didn't 2 years ago. And we've got 3 associate sides that will qualify from here in Al Emirat at the Oman Cricket Academy across the course of the remaining 6 days of the tournament, 5 more after today. Andrew Leonard here alongside Paresh Lahani, the former Nepal captain, to guide you through every ball of this much fabled and incredibly interesting clash between these two great associate rivals. They've been right to the forefront and the top echelons of the associate game over the last few years, and they've played out some unforgettable contests, particularly in 2023 and 2024. Nepal held the edge in a big way in 2023 with some famous victories, particularly on home soil, but also it was all turned around at this venue where Nepal have yet to beat the UAE, remember, by Mohammad Wasim and co, as the UAE held sway in 2024. Who will it be today, though? It's 5 apiece in the head-to-head matchups in this format. And the UAE have a few concerns around their batting lineup because 2 of their players have potentially suffered injuries that may make it difficult for them to bat. Lalit Rajbanshi will take the new ball. And we've got the amazing story of Jonathan Figge, who's back into UAE colours for the first time in 5 years on a T20I debut. We're all set. It's 141 that the UAE will require to win. And Paresh, I think it's right on a knife edge. UAE probably slight favourites.
Yeah, because they bowled very well. Mainly Junaid Siddique and Ali.
Hyder Ali, the left-arm spinner, is really impressive.
The economy rate of Hyder Ali was around under 6 runs per over and taken a wicket as well.
All 6 bowlers used, picked up a wicket. Gulshan Jah again, the only one really to get the strike rate needle moving for Nepal, but he could only make 15. It's left the cardiac kids, as they're often called, or the rhinos, or whatever nickname you want to give the men from the Himalayas. It's left them in a spot of bother. Now, they have fielded and bowled really well throughout the tournament. Particularly their fielding has been outstanding. And they've got a man who's on his T20I debut back into the team. Got a couple, I think it was 5 ODI caps as a teenager back in 2019, 2020. And he's been given the nod in one of 2 changes in this UAE side. 3 dot balls to start. You can make it 4, and that's a fascinating turn down of a single. That's Mohammad Wasim saying, I'm not running one quickly in the circle here against this Nepal side.
They feel like Tigers. You can see defender Singhari at short extra cover. Rohit Bordell. Very quick across the turf.
Put away, but straight to the man, Kushal Malla, who does well. And even the dot balls are being cheered vociferously. Really good crowd starting to build up. People making their way in after work. It's just approaching 4:30 p.m. local time. We'll have a gorgeous Muscat sunset, I guarantee you that, as those shadows are lengthening across the surface already. A really superb start of 8 and over. Look how deep he is in the circle there. They're still not taking him on. That would have been a single in the first innings. Rajbanshi starts with a maiden. They need 141 to win still. They'll have to do it now, Paresh, in 19 overs.
Maiden over to start off with by Lalit Rajbanshi. He's opened the bowling for Nepal frequently. Even in the one-day international, he's opened the bowling for Nepal. It's going to be Sompal Thami from the media box end to share the new ball with Lalit Rajbanshi.
Thami's, in general, been pretty good. Mohammad Wasim will come on to strike now. Don't want to say Mohammad Wasim or bust. That's not fair on the UAE side, but he is a huge factor in any match that he plays, whether it's against India or Pakistan for UAE in the Asia Cup, or against the fellow associates. He is that good a player. For me, he's one of the top 10 T20I batters in the world for any team, maybe the best associate T20I batter. He's immediately beaten outside the off stump. Nepal get the wicket of Wasim, they will believe. If Wasim gets off to a flyer, UAE will have the game in hand.
That is what we always talk about. Mohammad Wasim, he was beaten outside the off. Some nice shape by Sompal Kami, back up the length. The ball moving away from the right-hander.
Still no Karen KC, his great friend. He's keeping him out of the team. The other primary seam bowling option will be Nandan Yadav. Flipped around the corner. The first runs will come. Good piece of fielding by Sandeep Lamachani. But Figgy gets through for the single to get Wasim off the mark, and the UAE's account underway. The other option, though, in terms of seamers, would be Gulshan Jah, who changed the game single-handedly against Japan, not with just with the bat, but with the ball.
And that is after not bowling in 6 or 7 matches. It took the wicket of the captain Fleming. It was going very good, 60-odd runs for him against Nepal. The sixes that he scored against Sandeep Lamachani was absolutely brilliant.
Lamachani will have his role to play, of course, in the second innings. Little inside edge. That could have gone anywhere. A lot happening out there, and pressure building up on Jonathan Figgy in particular on debut. He's none off 7.
He's very tentative, with nerves getting into him. A big game, T20I debut. Jonathan Figgy, he's looking a bit restless in the middle.
Start moving back in. I don't think it's going to be a first international run for Jonathan Figgy, because it's going to be a leg bye. So he moves to none off 8. Always have to thank Paul Radley, the national newspaper, for all of his focus and features on all of the cricket across the Emirates. But speaking with him this afternoon, and he was explaining to me what a prodigious talent he was in terms of coming through the UAE school system, so much so that he earned himself a scholarship at the Winchester College, and then at the age of just 18, debuted in ODI cricket. Got him. Mohammad Wasim is gone, and just look at these celebrations. Brittel holds on to the catch. The fans are going wild, but Nepal's fielders are all in exuberant celebrations. They know how big that is. He's the record run scorer at this ground. He's gone for 1.
It was a back of the limb delivery by Sompal Kami. Tried to pull that straight to Kushal Patel. Look at the celebration of Kami. He's really pumped up, getting the big wicket of Mohammad Wasim. He has to depart for 1.
Massive wicket, massive moment in the match. The skipper's gone. He looks down at the toe of the bats. Caught by Bertel for 1. It's 2 for 1. Now, wickets in associate cricket, for me, Paresh, they don't come any bigger than that. He's the tournament's leading run scorer already. And just a huge, huge moment in the game. It really is. It was a back of the length ball, probably a little bit fuller than I think Wasim thought. Was it there for the pull shot?
It was a back of the length, a bit fuller, but talking about Mohammad Wasim, he can score short off any ball.
But I suppose my point here, Paresh, is that he's working against every force of that delivery, isn't it? The ball is shaping away. It's a bit fuller than a nice pullable length. And as a consequence, we know how well he plays into the leg side. It's just not the right option. And maybe that pressure built up by Figgy has paid on the captain. Sharafu's to the crease. They won't run 1 to defender Singh Irene, who picks up cleanly. But great news for the UAE. Looks like it was probably just a bruise of that shoulder as he landed on the rope. He's fit to bat. So wicket taking over for Kami, and UAE are in an early spot of bother, 2 for 1. There is a bit of irony, isn't there? I was telling that little story of Mohammed Wasim saying, "Where are the 12th player for Nepal today?" He was only having fun, so please don't get stuck into him on social media with throw a penalty. They are great friends, the two of them. And didn't they celebrate stridently with that incredible moment? Big, big wicket. Dipender Singh will replace Lalit Rajbanshi. Pressure comes on Jonathan Figgy. Just can't get anything away. None off 9 in a T20I.
Dipender Singh, as usual, right on the money, right on the spot.
Scored a century in the ICC Under-19 World Cup. As he will finally get a T20I run to his name and probably breathe a deep sigh of relief. You can almost visibly see it, can't you, at the non-striker's end. He can catch up, and he's a very special young player, but he's just finding it difficult. It always is a step back up to international cricket.
He opens his account on the 10th ball that he's faced. 9 dot balls before this. Played a maiden over the first over. Bit of nerves for Jonathan Piggy.
Fiery quietly has bowled exceptionally well, not just here, but in that Unity Cup against the West Indies, the series victory, that historic series win. Probably not quite getting the runs he would like at the moment, but his bowling and his fielding's better than it's ever been. He's a big part of this Nepal side.
Just trying to keep himself room. Sharaf opens his account with a single down to long on. UAE under pressure because the big wicket of Wasim, the captain.
Down the track, that's a bit more like it for Figgy. Yeah, Irie looks in complete control of his bowling at the moment. Looks very happy with where his game is at, and he's very comfortable bowling the power play with just 2 fielders out. He can also bowl then at the depth too.
That is the good point of Dipender Singh. He can open the bowling, he can come in middle overs, he can bowl in the depth overs as well.
Chip towards long on. Fielder runs around, goes wide to his right, and I think it's going to go all the way. Dipender Singh will have felt as though he was in the game. It was a slightly chancy stroke from Sharaf, who came off the inside half of the bat, but he got enough of it to get 6.
Even though it came inside half of the bat, it was played away from the fielder at long on, wide long on, just over the boundary line. 6 to finish the third over. 9 runs coming off it. UAE are 11 for 1.
More like it from the UAE. They'll need to show intent in this power play. Yeah, make no mistake, this is not an over-par score. We don't see anything in the surface. We didn't get any indication from the new groundsman here that he felt this would be anything but a pretty decent track. And for me, it's looked exactly that. It's looked like a good playing surface. I thought the UAE bowled and indeed fielded really, really well. But Nepal's strength in this series, Nepal's strength against the West Indies in that Unity Cup, their strength in recent times has been their fielding and their bowling. So if they're going to win this contest, it's going to be their performance now in the second innings that will do it for them. There's plenty of quality in this Emirati batting lineup, even without Mohammed Wasim. As a change of angle is going to take place for Cam, he'll come around the wicket now. Nearly cleans up Jonathan Figgy, who continues to struggle.
The last ball he drove off Slow Balkani was a good, confident-looking shot by Figgy. This time around, he fishes outside the off stump. The ball missing the off stump through to the keeper, Asif Sheikh.
So really cleans him up. Figgy just can't get anything going. Lots of pressure building on the young man. Just tell you a little bit more about him. Yeah, went over to Winchester College, debuted in that ODI series just at the age of 18, went to South Africa for the Under-19 World Cup, made a century down there, the first ever UAE player to do so at any global ICC event. And then, well, drifted away from the game, always had the passion for it, but went kind of out of favour in terms of selection in a difficult period for UAE. We were right down the leg side, and then it was the ILT20 development tournament where he was the highest scorer, 273 runs across it, that has kind of pushed him back into the international reckoning. It's probably fair to say that he's more of an ODI player than a T20 player, but he definitely deserves his chance back in. With all the problems that UAE have in the ODI format, you'd imagine he's surely got to be given his chance there. Problem is here, 87 and over right from the off. You can't afford to be 3 off 14 unless you catch up.
He has to catch up. It shows that in the start he was pretty nervy, making a T20I debut for UAE.
Both him and Ethan D'Souza, who's a great friend of his from the Abu Dhabi Emirates. Another one that Figgy's missed out on and not given as a wide. Is there some contact with something there? 3 off 15 now.
He has to get a move on. The current rate is under 4 runs per over. The required is getting bigger, almost 8 now.
The final word from that Paul Radley piece 3 years ago. He was thinking of giving up cricket altogether through the pandemic. He's delighted that he's stuck with it, deserves his chance again. Nepal, though, are putting the squeeze on him. 3 off 16 for Figgy, 4 bowled, 14 for 1. We had 9 group games. We'll have 12 Super 6 matches. We had one this morning where Oman beat Qatar. As the sun starts to paint the most glorious picture, look at the Al Emirat hills that surround us. Lucky enough yesterday to get down to one of the main wadis, Quraysh, about an hour and a half south of here. Still trying to work out exactly what I witnessed, because natural sort of spring, walk up into the canyons, water, you can go on and swim. Beautiful place. And it is the entire Sultanate of Oman. The people are the nicest you'll ever meet, super friendly. It's just a great place to come and watch cricket, and pretty good local food to go with it. As Nandan Yadav comes into the attack. You've enjoyed your time here so far. Your first trip to Muscat, right?
Yes, I've enjoyed every bit of it. It seems like I'm back home with the hills surrounding the valley.
The hills are a bit bigger back in Nepal, aren't they? A bit greener too, maybe?
Yeah, a bit of green in Nepal. These mountains are all older mountains, not muddy mountains.
Very pretty, particularly this time of day with the sun kind of casting those shadows. Moving edge. Irie goes towards it, can't get there. There was just a momentary hesitation between Dipendra Singh Irie and Rohit Paudel. I think either of them maybe could have got there if they both had went wholeheartedly, but with the ball hanging in the air, they both had a look at each other and just held their momentum, and as a consequence, it fell safely.
Coming down the track, Alison Sharafu. And between the two fielders.
It's probably the only place that could have gone and fallen safely. Incredible moment of fortune. Because if Irie can't get there with his pace, nobody's getting there. Back live now. Good stuff from Nandan Yadav, though. His radar in the first couple of games, he bowled quite a few wides. Much better start from him today.
From the first ball of this over, Alison Sharafu is trying to get down the track, trying to hit Nandan Yadav over the top, over the bowler's head, but he's not been able to do so. Nandan Yadav, in the other hand, bowling very smartly, bowling behind the length, back of the length, and getting that leading edge, which dropped in no man's land between the two fielders.
Could have gone anywhere, couldn't it? Could have looped up for the easiest of catches, but very fortuitously for Sharafu, fell safely. down the track. It's a big blow. It's an almighty blow. I think that's definitely the biggest of the day. Probably one of the biggest of the entire tournament. Plonks it up onto the roof of the pavilion. A dance down the track. And Sharafu showing no ills from that shoulder injury. It's his second six.
It was a leg cutter bowled by Nandan Yadav. Nicely picked away down to long on. Wide long on, that is. Over the pavilion's room.
Lovely noise off the bat, wasn't there? Don't have the stump mics in place. You won't quite have heard it as clearly at home, but a real beautiful ping. Tries to repeat the dose, but goes down the ground instead. Good batting, dancing and attacking Nandan Yadav. Back-to-back boundaries, 6 and now 4.
This is batting with intent. Coming again down the track, hitting it straight towards the side screen. Ball rolling off the carpet. 6 and a 4. A good-looking over, turning out to be a good-looking over for UAE.
Amazing the small margins, isn't it? That leading edge could have popped up. He could have been gone for 8, but instead he's decided to stop being tentative and start to attack. Pressure now on the young fast bowler. For the short ball, should just be pulled away for the single. So it's 11 runs from the 5th over, and crucially, Sharafu will keep the strike. Much more like it for UAE coming into the contest now in the chase. It's 25 for 1. A reminder, we've got action this evening as well under the floodlights. Floodlights will kick in for probably the very latter stage of this chase as we just peak past, or peak up to 5 o'clock local time. 1:45 right now. Sun tends to set around 5:30, 5:45. Lalit Rajbanshi has bowled a maiden from his first over. He'll have a change of ends. Be interesting to see if Sharafu continues to attack in the 6th and final over of the power play. Only 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle still. Long off and deep backward square out. Big ring of 4 fielders on the offside, led by Dipender Singh, who fielded that one at cover. Sharafu is the big wicket, the next most prized wicket now. Again, can't find the gap. Straight to the fielder. You can sense he really wants to go at it this over, Paresh.
Giving himself room. Sharafu wants to pierce the offside field. There's no fielder outside the 30-yard circle in the offside, square of the wicket. Decides to stop. I think he missed his mark. Again, 2 dot balls in the first 2 balls. Nepal, they have to pick up wickets in regular intervals. Pulled away, down to mid-wicket, a boundary. Good-looking shot by Sharafu.
It's great intent. And he's somewhat sparing Jonathan Figgy's blushes because he's managed to sort of hog the strike over the last couple of overs. Play really aggressively. Not the greatest delivery from Rajbanshi. Rarely bowls 2 bad ones in a row. Sharafu getting into his work. 23 off just 14. Will not take on Dipender Singh. We've seen that trending all over social media, haven't we? There's 2 rules with regards to playing against Nepal. Don't run a single to Dipender Singh. Number 2, listen to the first rule. And the leg side, and a miss stop from Asif Sheikh is going to cost 5. That should be given as 5 wides, and indeed is. Maybe a bit lethargic and tired from his batting efforts. Not the right line from Rajbanshi. 5 free runs to the total.
Straying down the leg side, the ball going between the feet of Asif Sheikh will stop the ball. Bonus runs for UAE. Already 9 runs off this. A good big back-to-back overs for UAE. The last one bowled by Nanan Yadav. And now Lalit Rajbanshi, the first over that he bowled was a maiden.
And only this time, but a costly 5 wides. Those 5. UAE not ahead in the chase, but definitely coming back into it. And because it's only 141 that they chase, the required run rate is very manageable at 7.5 runs per over. Amachani's 4 overs are going to be 4 big ones. He goes down, over long off, and hits it for 6. The final ball of the power play will maybe edge that power play towards the UAE. Rajbanshi's over goes for 15. It's 40 for 1.
This is the power play highlights. So Balkami getting rid of Mohammad Uzim, a big wicket. After that, Alishan Sharapo came in, hit some lusty blows. Dipendra Singh Naidu was hit for a 6, and then coming down the track and hitting Nanan Yadav over the top for a 6. Even for Lalit Rajbanshi, Alishan Sharapo coming down the track, giving himself room and hitting it over long on for a 6. This one was straight down the leg side, wide given. This is an extremely good shot, giving himself room over the long off fielder for a 6.
The thing I love about this rivalry is, okay, it's honours even in terms of T20 cricket between the two sides. They both won 5 matches apiece. There's always such ebbs and flows and peaks and troughs in the games between the two sides. As Gulshan Jab is called upon, Figgy goes downtown and he finally gets in the act. He gets a boundary. Mid-off was up in the circle, slightly full from Jab, and Figgy cashes in.
Confident looking shot by Figgy. Hits it with a straight bat. The mid-off fielder was inside the circle.
Interesting bowling change this one. So often it's either Lamachani or a spinner that will bowl the 7. With the fielding restrictions kicking in, but fielding restrictions being eased even. 5 fielders allowed on the rope now. But because Jha was so good against Japan, they've gone with him. UAE starting to look very comfortable and confident in this chase.
Especially Alishan Sharafo, he's 29 of 17. Whereas Figgy, with that boundary, moves to 8 of 18 deliveries. Even though Figgy hasn't done justice to his strike rate, Sharafo has played very well, coming down the track to the fast bowlers.
Worked into the leg side, should just be the single as Sharafu just pulls up a little timidly towards the end of that run, adding a lower leg problem to the shoulder that he's probably continuing to feel. A reminder that we're not certain whether or not Basil Hamid is going to be able to bat, so that could be a factor in this second innings. Nepal are going to have to bowl well to even find out whether or not that's the case. Imagine that Lamachani is chomping at the bit to get into the game. You would expect him to probably bowl from the media centre end, not where Jha's bowling from now because of the bigger leg side boundary for the right-handers today. And is it a case of waiting for Figgy to be dismissed to turn to their wrist spinner?
I think actually it doesn't matter if there's a left-hander at the crease. He's a class act, Sandeep Lamachani. He can bowl with both the right-handers and the left-handers.
It is a factor, though. We've seen those 2 6s into the leg side, and both exploited that shorter boundary up towards the pavilion from Sharafu. So that's maybe one of the factors as to why Jha has been called upon from this end. Good delivery from Jha, and does well off his own bowling to keep it to a dot ball.
7 runs of this over so far. Alishan Sharafu, the luck that he needed. It was a top edge, the leading edge that dropped into no man's land between the two fielders. It Rohit Poldel and Dipen Singh.
Right on the money again. Don't think they'll get a second again. Sharafu pulls up quite quickly at the non-strikers, and he doesn't look 100% comfortable or happy with where his body is at. Thuds the pad in frustration. 8 overs come from Jazz first. 48 for 1. Well, here we go. Massive moment in the game. Sandeep Lamachani will come into it. He's had kind of a tale of two halves to his two bowling spells so far. 2 overs, none for 19 and none for 20 in the first half of his first two games, and then he's fought back really well, picking up wickets and keeping things tight in his third and fourth overs. He would love to start well here, mix up, and they don't take on Lalit Rajbanshi. I don't think Sharafu's running particularly well between the wickets there. You can almost see him limping. And with the Tiger prowling in there at cover as well, just going to change the fielder. Rajbanshi will be taken out a point. They got Gulshan Jan there for a bit more movement. Don't rule out a run out at some point. We've already seen two spectacular direct hits from Irie. Oh, and a great diving stop is going to save a single. It's Irie again. He's always in the game.
Even if there's an overthrow chance, they don't run in front of Irie.
Incredible, isn't it? He didn't collect that cleanly and still was able to prevent the single. He's matched up this one, Lamachani to Sharafu. You just sense that both cricketers have no shortage of confidence. They have a bit of swagger to the way in which they play their cricket, and they'll kind of want to take each other on, the leg spinner and the right-hander.
That is what Sharafu is thinking. He wants to play Sandeep Lamachani over extra cover. That is what we saw. The two balls that he faced earlier.
Googly immediately and helped into the leg side, but just one bounce to Sampal Kami, shorter side of the ground there. Kendall Fleming, the Japan captain, took a real liking to Lamachani, and he's got a few questions with his bowling to the left-handers of late.
He just gave a bit of air to Fleming. That is why he was struck down the ground a couple of times.
50 comes up. This has helped miles over the offside. That's an almighty strike. Here's a class act, Dalashan Sharafu. Always been thought of as, well, the most prodigious of young talents to come through that Emirati system. The former under-19s captain. Well, he wins part one of that battle with Lamachani.
It was hit on the up, giving himself room, hitting it over extra cover.
Superb strike. Here's the googly. You knew it was coming. After the leg break was smashed down the ground for 6, and Sharafu read it very well indeed. He's dominated this partnership. He moves to 39. It's 57 for 1. Nepal looking in need of wickets all of a sudden. This has been a good partnership. Okay, Figgy hasn't done much. He's only got 10, but Sharafu has played really brightly. And you sense that if Nepal don't see the back of him shortly, UAE will be sitting pretty on top of the table alongside Oman come the end of this match.
Even though Figgy is 10 of 12 in the contribution, look at the rate that the partnership has been built, 55 of just 37 balls. That shows how Sharafu is striking the ball. It's going to be Gulshan Jah.
Sharafu wants 2, and he feels as though he can get it because it's perfectly weighted. And he's judged it well enough despite the slight stumble after he completes the second. Been in the wars today, Sharafu, isn't he? But he moves into the 40s and he's playing a fine innings here. UAE controlling this chase.
Coming down the track, playing with soft hands into the gap. There's a big gap between the fielders there. Rohit Fordwell had to come from the boundary line. That is why they were able to take 2 runs.
Good diving stop from Rajban. She won't stop the single, but does enough to stop the boundary. Nepal's bowling just looks a little toothless all of a sudden, and it's giving every indication to exactly what we said, that we feel this is a good batting surface. Nepal were well shy with 140 of where they could and maybe should have got to if they batted with a bit more intent.
It all started in the middle overs for Nepal. The opening partnership was good. They were going around 8.5 runs per over.
Chipped in the air and chipped shy of long on. They probably haven't done a particularly good job of keeping Figgy on strike either. Sharafu has faced the majority of the last 4 overs, which is why the chase has started to accelerate. 80 off 69, 9 wickets in hand, even if there's an injury to Basil Hamid. Well, it's all stacking heavily in favour of the UAE right now.
On the other hand, Nepal will have to take wickets. They cannot just restrict UAE. They have to take wickets.
Problem with the field here as well is, you can see with that shot, fine leg is in the circle on the leg side. All the other 3 fielders, long on, deep mid-wicket, deep backward square, are out. There is a single every ball if they want it, and there's sometimes a 2 on offer with very little risk.
Yeah, because the fielders are way in the boundary line. There are big boundaries here. What they can do is just play with soft hands, take 2s. You don't have to take any risk.
Off cutter, pulled to the deep will be a single, and the required run rate has come down from the peak of well over 8 and over at points of this chase. It's less than 7 and over needed. Nepal have to change something here, and they're going to have to maybe take some risk. Rohit Powell has thinking to do. Where's he going to turn? Does he try to get Kushal Patel into the game, who probably hasn't had the best 2 games with the ball?
His strike rate is pretty good in T20 eyes, Kushal Patel. He has the second best strike rate in T20 eyes.
Just Kuldeep Yadav takes wickets quicker than him, remarkably. Better line. Prefer that line, and Cammy can't quite cut it off. They still will get the single. The most comfortable of 7 runs that they require from the over, guided around by the UAE. This partnership's been a very good one. They're in cruise control at the moment. It's 64 for 1. Amachani will continue. Big over this one. Starts with a leg break. He sense if Nepal don't get a second wicket before the drinks break here, UAE will be very satisfied with the first half of this chase.
They will be very pleased. Even though Mohammad Wasim got out cheaply, Sharafu has done what Mohammad Wasim would have done.
Inside edge, could have gone anywhere. Misfortune for Lamachani that's going to cost a boundary despite the diving efforts. Sharafu, very lucky here, was looking to probably go into the offside, I think. Has tied himself in a tangle in knots and, well, just flays the bat at it and somehow gets a boundary.
That was a googly ball by Lamachani. The ball hitting the inside edge, running down far into a final boundary. Sharafu moves to 48 of just 31 deliveries. Again, Sandeep Lamachani into the expensive side.
Googly again trying to wrap that front pad. With the boundary early in the over, UAE will just be happy to nudge it around. Floodlights have just come on for the first time.
Sharafu looks a bit itchy out there. He's struggling with his leg, calf, or hamstring.
Goes with the googly, and Lamachani does well off his own bowling. It's a run saved. Nepal fans are just appearing very nervous, the ones that we can hear in the crowd. 9 wickets in hand, halfway to where they require to be at the halfway stage, UAE. Have this game in complete control. Big swing and a miss, though. Doesn't pick the googly.
Nepal were also in a similar situation at the end of the first 10 overs. And they completely lost it after that. A very good bowling. Credit goes to the UAE bowlers, the way they bowled, the way they fielded in the first innings.
Promise you there'll be another twister turn, Paresh. As Figgy gets a good piece of it. He's going to get a maximum. Didn't look like he struck it perfectly at first, and Lamachani's frustrated. But Figgy's 12 off 24 will jump off to 18 off 25. 11 from the over. Nepal are looking really concerned as to how they're going to get themselves back into this contest. And it's the UAE again here in Muscat that are seeing the best of this Associate El Clasico, dominating the contest. 75 for 1, the score. And if the floodlights come on, we'll have a break here at the halfway stage of this first innings. Nepal are left with it all to do. UAE going so well thanks to this second wicket partnership. They are 75 for 1.
वाइड 16 रह गए, 8 में 16। सात गेंदा 16 रह गए, 7 गेंदा 16। बहुत तगड़ी बॉल करता है, नींद है, बहुत 6 हो रही थी। हाँ बोला कि हाँ हाँ 1 ग्राम वेट मुंडा इतनी बॉल करता है हुए है। हाँ वो बहुत तगड़ी करता हूँ।
आप कहाँ से? इंडिया पाकिस्तान। मैं भाई इंडिया से हूँ। राज एक और एक ओवर 15 रन। और ड्रॉप सेकंड सेमी ये चल रहा है लास्ट क्वार्टर फाइनल। अभी आगे फर्स्ट सेमी। वर्ल्ड आती हुई खबर है क्या? 14 5 he's the one hitting sixes. He hit 4 6 in a row. Punjab. No. Randwell Park. क्या? रावली की अंदर क्या? Randwell Park. Sure. मैं दो गेंद बढ़िया बॉल करके बनता 2 गेंद 13 स्कोर। वो वेरी गुड बॉल। अच्छा बॉल किया। कितने लोग? 724 दर्शक जुड़े। भाई दो कहीं आई कर नहीं सकता। ये द्वारा गाने भाई मैं मान भैया माना ओके ये फोन है जरूर मिली क्या नहीं वो पता नहीं ठीक है अंदर मैं 2 गेम ठीक है सही है मैंने कॉपिंग डाली पता नहीं तेरे और सीजन सही गेम फंस गया ही लास्ट ओवर 15 रन तक पहुंचे भी नहीं है ये नु फिर बेचा गाने नहीं होंगे कौन नहीं मेरी नहीं मैं दूसरे में खेला था मैं उसको देखा ना मैं गुरु को देखा ना इसलिए जिंदगी का अपना मैच है इसलिए वो लगा हुआ है बॉल साफ करने में कर दें मैं स्कोरिंग कर रही हूँ ब्रो मेरा ये स्कूल गलत जगह मारेगा यहाँ जल्दी कहना खाना तो लगी है बेहतर खाएगा